Well then, back to it. Hello, people of the internet, FGO lovers, Twitch and YouTube alike. We get to it. Fate Grand Order time. Let's see. Oh yeah, what? Alko died like for the 5th time again? Ha! Let's go. Okay, yes, I may have been doing some cuckoo farm. Oh yeah, large bath is next. Good, good. Let me see. Get my shit situated here, there. Oh, excuse me. Maybe turn this. Let's do it like that. Yeah. I think I was a little too loud. Oh, is it because where's this shit at? We'll do that. That's fine. Alright. Take a drink and we should get straight into it. Oh, you shit. No, not again. Is this a slash this time? Oh, it's a Ryogi, definitely, huh? Yeah, it's me again. Sorry for all the trouble. My deepest condolences. It's not every day I get to offer them directly to the deceased in question, so thank you for the novel experience. Now, can we move on? I trust that's you over there. Alko? Yeah, that's me, alright. Go ahead and investigate, deliberate, whatever you have to do. Okay, is that Alko also from the future then? Wait, I thought you said there couldn't be more than one of you in the same time period. That's true, but occasionally there could be a little slip up, like if my future self forgot to carry the 1 when calculating the jump time. That's the one kind of mistake you should never make when race shifting. So this Aozaki's you from even further in the future, huh? I don't know how I'm gonna keep all this straight. Never mind Aozaki's mistake right now. We need to figure out how this one ended up dead. It looks like she died from shock or blood loss after being cut with some kind of blade. The wound was inflicted on the front of her body, so I doubt she was taken by surprise. Whoever did this must have been incredibly skilled. I'll say, whoever it was must have been a bona fide sword saint, since Aozaki's lasers work on everything up to sword masters. Kinomi, tell us more about the bath situation this morning. Who discovered the body? I did. I woke up late today since I cleaned the bathing area last night. I usually wake up before 5, but today was 6, since I'd already handed over the key. You mean the key to get into the springs? Yeah, Ryogi actually reserved today's secret spring a whole year ahead. Even paid me 10 million yen in advance, all up front. Thank goodness too. That cash was my lifeline this past year. Anyway, after I locked up last night, I gave the key to Ryogi so that she could let herself into the spring in the morning. Said she could take all the time she wants. So I waited until after 6 before coming to man the reception so as not to intrude. But I didn't see any clothes in the hamper, so I figured she and her family must not have gotten here yet. Then I went to check the door and you found it was locked, followed by discovering Aozaki's newest corpse, huh? So Ryogi sir reserved the spring a whole year in advance? That sounds serious. What's today's spring again, senpai? The spring of happy home life? The spring of stiff shoulder annihilation? Tabris. I was certainly annihilated, but not because of a little shoulder pain. Sorry, today's actually the spring of happy home life. but I give that bit just now a 10 out of 10. Thinking this true. It seems either Ryogi lured Aozaki out here to kill her, or someone else killed Aozaki thinking she was Ryogi. Either way, we'll need to hear what Ryogi has to say about this. Jabris, Sojiro, Mash, I'd like you to go talk to her. Actually, you go with him too, Aozaki. Ryogi's cool as a cucumber and she doesn't have loose lips. But I bet she'll be more willing to open up with you there. I see. You want me to act like I just saw her earlier. You got it. Alice and I will handle everyone else. Let's see. The only other people here now are Shiro, Fujinon, Sugitani, and Kajin. I'll talk to Shiro and I'll probably check in on Sugitani too. Alice, you talk to Fujino and Kinomi. You talk to Kajin. We'll all meet back up in the lobby once we're done, okay? Let's get going. Wow, wait. Oh, I have to go grind. Why are you making me grind? Okay, fine. Oh, cool. How long are these? Remaining 1 hour? Bullshit. So let's just take a berserker. Acasta. Let's change you. Beef. Where? What do you want, Tamashi? Yes. I don't want to just clear this fast. Let's do this. Yeah, this should work. What? More? You want more chicken? Yes? Okay. Alrighty then. Ooh, they're like, what? Twinkling star? Those look cute. This. This is a 3. Well, at least this is clearing up some nodes. No, I want. Oh. Yeah, I'll take you too.
夜の宴は遠く、仕事の時間はでシックス、スイング、チョコレート。今回いいわ。復唱する。いいわ。ごっこ遊びをしましょう。太古の神秘、笑う月面、こぼれ落ちて舞台は燃える。スマイルフラットスナーク。
The fucking cheerleader version. Well,
夏の女神が衆生に告げる。踊りなさいな、騒ぎなさいな。すっきり。来るがいい。体内魔力上昇。マナどもに甘くないっすか？チョコだけ。一番の心臓。夏の女神が衆生に告げる。踊りなさいな、騒ぎなさいな。すっきり。はーい、おしまいね。
very nice. Let's do. Yeah, that works. Hmm.
ムクダリどもに甘くないっすか？ディドディドシックス、スイング、チョコレート。クラウン、静かに。ねえ、次は？遊園地はお好き？命を計りにどうぞこちらへ。道化の王を見つけられて。ああ、朝まで残ればあなたの勝ちだったのね。
Yeah, how'd I know that one
お
survives?
しゃべり双子。ディドディド。いいよ、冗談する。いいよ、ほら早く。この星で一番の心臓を。朽ちるムクロよりいでよ。炎の息、鉄の翼。フォローハートアルビオン。頑張って頑張って。サマータイム。おいしい。わーお。オッケー。夏の女神が衆生に告げる。踊りなさいな、騒ぎなさいな。すっきり。息が上がっているなんて。こういう戦いは性に合わないわ。 自分、今回は普段よりおとなしいんすよね。山のような仕事とかけて、よく晴れた人と、その輝き、お宝っすね。その輝き、お宝っすね。その輝き、お宝っすね。その輝き、お宝っすね。不労所得よりすごいっす。
旅館の問題点をリスト化してみ。やったぞマスター。事件
Oh,
発
cool.
生だ。
Yay!
これはボーナスの予感。
Okay, this is the Chimera room where Ryogi's staying. It shouldn't be too early to knock since it's 8 in the morning now. That is early. Oh, if it isn't the detective's assistant. Is something wrong? You look so serious. Is your family okay? Yes, they're fine. So much so that my husband didn't think twice about scolding me for wasting money again. Said it sets a poor example for our daughter. If you can believe that, he wasn't worried about me in the slightest. On a different subject, may we ask where you were this morning? I was planning to bathe in the hot springs this morning, but unfortunately, something suddenly came up. It was all thanks to, yes, you. You're the one who approached you when we happened to pass each other in the hallway. Oh, right, of course. I'm sorry. Could you remind me what I said again? You asked me where the place that grants wishes is. I assumed you meant the secret spring and you seemed to be in a hurry, so I gave you the key. Really? Just like that? Even though you reserved the spring of happy home life a whole year ago? Yes, I did. That spring is the whole reason I brought my family here. But I don't care whether that wish is granted or not. The idea of going on a trip with my family to a hot spring said to bless us, no less. It's more than enough for me. I don't need to be the first to bathe in it, nor do I mind whether it grants wishes or not. See, so your goal was just to come here and make a wish with your family. Yes, that's right. I just wanted to spend some quality time together at a memorable location. But never mind that now. Since you're questioning me, I assume someone else has turned up dead at the bath. Who was it, and how were they murdered? Just to be sure, their body wasn't twisted, was it? It was Aoko from a clean cut with some sort of blade. I see. Well, I'm relieved to hear the cause of death was something ordinary like a laceration. May I take a look at the body? Sure, as long as Aozaki's okay with it. Tobimaru never said you were a suspect. Suit yourself. I don't have any right to stop you. Then, lead the way, but could you give me a moment first, please? Oh shit! Whoa, is that a real sword? It looks like a genuine historical relic. Don't worry, this is just for my protection. Since the victim was killed with a blade, I need to make sure I can answer in turn, if necessary. Hehe. As an expert, does anything stand out to you? I'll be blunt. It was my sword that killed her, albeit with a far lower degree of skill. It looks like I have a doppelganger here at this inn. Perhaps this is one of the ghosts at work. I'm definitely starting to see a pattern. Yeah, I'm still not sure why, but it looks like a clone of whoever wants to go into Secret Springs keeps showing up here. And those clones must be who's killing Awazaki every morning. A clone of whoever wants to go into Secret Spring. Maybe that's what you need to do to have your wish granted. That sounds just like another Kumano legend. Shiro told me there's a monstrous mountain god here who will show you your future. However, witnessing the future also causes this god to die. So since it doesn't want that, whenever it shows someone their future, it has that person die in its place. In other words, you could say that people who die this way are being killed by their own future, no? Yeah, I could see that. So if I hadn't come here, then yes, I'm the one who would have died. I can't imagine I would ever lose a sword duel to myself, but it could be that seeing your clone, your future, invokes a rule that says no one can leave until the wish has been made, at least one person is dead. So this rule is essentially a curse, one created by the mountain itself, and one powerful enough to kill someone as strong as Aoko 4, multiple times at that. But looks that way. I can see her maybe letting her guard down once or twice, but more than 3? No way. Anyway, it looks like this answers the question of who killed Awazaki. The culprit must have been the monster who's been living on this mountain since ancient times, the one Kinamo calls Wanwan. Well, maybe culprit isn't right. It seems more akin to an automated system that kills anyone who tries to go in the secret springs. Let me guess, you're thinking, doesn't that mean there would have been similar deaths before then, right? I don't think so. This year's secret springs are just special, that's all. Though I don't yet remember what it is that makes them that way. More importantly, you mentioned Shiro by name earlier. Do you know him, Ryogi? No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Yeah, I don't buy it. So then, when something came up this morning... Well, so you came here with your husband and daughter and you still snuck off for a tryst with... It's nothing like that. Shiro and I are strictly business associates. We have an arrangement giving me first right of refusal if he happens upon any high quality artworks that he can't display openly, that's all. Oh, so Shiro's an art dealer then. That's how you know him. But what does he have to do with your emergency errand this morning? Well, last night he told me he could no longer sell me an artwork we had agreed upon. So I panicked a bit and asked Fujino to go talk to him and find out what had happened. But then my husband overheard us from the other side of the door and said the 4 words I dread more than anything else. We have to talk. Believe me, that was far scarier than any ghost story. I almost thought it was one of the Kumano Inn's spiritual disturbances. I see. Well, putting your family's differences over luxury goods aside, your testimony has helped us put a lot of pieces together. Let's go find Tobimaru and Alice at the lobby. I think we're finally about to crack this case. Lobby! Did those things disappear? No, they're still here. Oh shit. And that's everything we learned. And it seems pretty clear that this morning's Awazaki killer was another Ryogi. It's just like what happened with Tsukitani. Yeah, I thought the other me I saw yesterday turned into that mist, but that was all Konji's doing and didn't have to do with the murder. If we want to stop this from happening again, we're gonna have to cut it off at its source. I don't know what this Wanwan thing is supposed to be, but we'd better find it and destroy it soon. But first, we have missing people to find. Tsukitani is here, as you can see, but Shiro was nowhere in his room. I couldn't find Fujino anywhere either. Lady Kajin wasn't there either. Now that I think of it, she was already gone when I brought her breakfast early in the morning. I always thought there was something shady about that creepy puppeteer. You said Kajin lives in the old building. I'm gonna go take a look. Fujino should have gone to Shiro's room. He said he was staying in the indigo room, yes? Huh? No, I'm afraid you're mistaken. Mr. Shiro was staying in the indigo room at first, but he switched to the neighboring room on the second day. Said there was bad juju in his original room and he wouldn't be able to relax there. The neighboring room? Oh no, you don't mean the Camellia room, do you? Yes, I do. He liked it very much. Said it was charming. But that's... Yes, senpai, it's a side of the Hanged Rider, one of the big 5 ghost stories. That's gotta be the worst room in this whole inn. Why would you change his room to some place so dangerous? Lady Kajin says the room needs to be used once in a while to avoid it deteriorating even more, so I thought I would take her word for it and give it a shot. If it turns out to be not be haunted after all, then I can start putting regular customers up in it too. You idiot, I swear you're just irresponsible as ever. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. I'll go pay him a visit right now. Tabris, Sojiro, Awazaki, would you come with me? You too, proprietor. We could use someone who knows the inn inside out. What about me and Mash? Tsukiji, you're going to stay here, right? I believe you make it a rule to never do anything dangerous if you can't help it. Yeah, pretty much, and that definitely includes charging into a known haunted place. Then you should stay here and keep him safe, Konji. As for you, Mash, I'm sorry to ask, but do you think you could go back to my room and make sure my family stays safe? Yes, of course, I appreciate your trust. Don't worry, I'll take good care of them. Listen closely. If Fujino's been possessed by an evil spirit, then we'll need to kill her before she can kill us. Don't try to hide or keep your distance. The only way we'll win is if we get in close while she's targeting someone else. This is the same smoke we saw in the woods on the first day. What can you tell us about the hanged rider, Kinomi? How did it come about? Well, according to the last owner, it happened some time ago, back in Showa period. During an unseasonably hot May, an author suffering from writer's block came to stay at the inn with his editor. They'd reserved a room for weeks, saying they expected to stay for a long while. The author's wife and child had also come along to stay at the inn with him. But it wasn't by the author's choice, it was the editor's. The editor had threatened the author, telling him he was going to finish his story and his family would pay the price if he tried to run. Oh, now you want to go? Yeah. You have one chicken left, Kumashi. Eat your chicken. Your chicken. That's what times were like back in the day. No matter the accolades, the author was still a slave to the publisher. For the next several days, the editor kept hounding the author to work on his manuscript. He even had a latch put on the camellia room's door so it couldn't be opened from the inside, locking the author in. But even with all that, the words never came, and the editor's temper grew worse by the day. Bah. Ooh! He even began to take out his frustrations on the author's family, leaving increasingly visible marks. That was probably what pushed the author over the edge. One day, he told his editor that he wanted to have dinner with his family and had them brought into the camellia room. He then drugged his wife and child with the sleeping pills he was taking for insomnia and hung himself with a towel. Fuck. There were no beams in the ceiling to tie the towel around, but he managed all the same. The next day, the editor knocked on the camellia room's door only to hear, "It's not finished yet." The editor then knocked again the next day only to hear the words aren't coming yet. Then he knocked again the day after that only to hear, "I can't come out from behind." Haha! The editor then opened the door and saw the author's dead body, along with those of his wife and child who had died of overdose. Thanks to the unseasonable heat and humidity, the bodies had already decomposed. The editor was shocked, but still noticed the author's unfinished manuscript on the desk. Well, he thought, I may as well publish whatever he wrote. Oh, so he stepped inside the room to collect the script, only for the door to close behind him, and that was that. What do you mean? I mean, that was that. Nobody came out from the room for the next year, and nobody could manage to open the door. Finally, the innkeeper couldn't take it anymore and called in a well-known professional exorcist who managed to finally get the door open. But when they opened it up, there was nothing inside, not a single dead body to be seen. Even a single corpse is more than most people can handle. The stench from multiple stewing over a whole year should have made the room completely unusable, and yet somehow, the camellia room was exactly like it was a year ago, seemingly no worse for wear. So the owner decided that nothing must have happened after all. The author and his family must have left without a word, and the editor must have followed suit. Really, that was arguably the only explanation he could use at the time. That's why Lady Kajin told me to watch out around this room whenever it gets hot in May. She also said someone's still trapped in there even now, but I decided to just not think about that part. I thought this building was new. Oh, did I not tell you? The new building was built on top of the Kumano Inn's old annex. So everything up to the second floor is basically the annex with a new coat of painting. Pretty good cost-saving measure, huh, right? Alright, Kinomi, I see how it is. You're very good at telling scary stories. When this is all over, you're going to apologize to Shiro and mean it. So it's a conceptual bounded field where you can't open it from inside. You could simply just not enter, but that won't do now. What if one of us holds the door open and stays in the hall while the others go in? Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of right now, too. Well, we're here. Is it okay if I wait around here? Hiname is not even blinking twice in the smoke. I guess he really hasn't been running a haunted inn for a while for nothing. Fine, you can stay in the indigo room. Roger, Dodger. Alright, this is the camellia room. Are you all ready to do this? Bring on the ghost. I'll open the door and go in first. We could be hit with some sort of psychic blast right away, so wait a beat before you follow me in, Tab. Okay, here goes. 3, 2, 1. Go. What the? The lights just went out all of a sudden. Are you two still there? Don't panic. Everyone, stick together. There are evil spirits headed our way. We need to take them out before we can move. In the dark? Shizuki Sojiro as a starting member. Sure. Do that. Oh shit, I was like, for real?
物騒な話。今度こそ決める。アキレスシャバゾウ。
起きてるよ。
発展途上ですのでやってやるわ。発展途上ですので
動いているなら呼吸はある。
やるっすかシャバゾウ。
もちろん。
任そうとして。ふっ止めて跳ねる。もたもたしない。
あれ
What the fuck? Oh, I guess we have MP sealed.
サポートして、
Fine.
そこ動くな。
まったく青崎ときたらむむ
踊りになって。
嫌だが
うまくいくといいのだけれど、物騒な話に。うまくいくといいのだけれど。
Hmm. Ah,
Makasih.
okay.
どうどう音がおしまいだ。
どうだろう
Now she's stunned.
あれね。
This should clear it, I think.
気持ちはわかるよ
Yep.
よし、吹っ飛べ。これくらい余裕余裕。
This fucking bitch.
見つけた。これくらいやれるわ。
雪が止む頃には
見つけた。
家に帰るよ
すべては夢。これが名残の晴
Oh, you son of a bitch.
逃がすか。あまりせわしく動く私の方があまりせわしく動かないでください。トークシックススイング仕事の時間よ。偵察気をつけて。ええ、わかりました。危ないですよ。わかる。危ないですよ。あちらですか。ええ、サポートして。わかりました。そこですね。わかる。聞かないっす。半人前の魔法使いにしてはいい活躍できたかも。できたわよね。
The lights are back on. What was all that? Was that the writer's ghost? You're really strong, Ryogi. I was just doing my best to imitate how others fight. I'm afraid I won't be of any more help, though. That took everything I had. Damn it, you're here too now, huh? I was yelling at you not to open the door, but I guess you couldn't hear me. It's part of this room's curse from the outside. It probably just looked like an ordinary room. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I could keep the door open, but then the light suddenly went out, and before I knew it, simply touching the door must have activated the curse the same as if you'd gone inside. It's not your fault, Iozaki. The rules governing this room never meant to play fair. At any rate, we can worry about getting out of here later. Are you two alright? Miss Ryogi, did you come here for me, even though you knew this room was a trap? Of course, granted, I can't say I thought that far ahead, but I couldn't go losing you now, could I? Not to mention, I still haven't received the item you promised me, Shiro. Ha! Even now you still care first and foremost about your hobbies, huh? I guess you're nothing if not consistent. Ryogi, I thought you and Fujino didn't get along. Was I wrong? Fujino is my bodyguard. There were lots of unsavory rumors about this place, so I asked her to come along on this trip for me and my family's protection. That's right, I was happy to oblige a request from Ms. Ryogi, even if it meant giving up my day off. Fortunately, between the relaxing hot springs and the fun events they've been surprising us with every day, I've been feeling very rejuvenated. Now I see, so that's why you were paying such close attention to Ryogi. We didn't know you were her bodyguard, so we thought you were waiting for a chance to attack her. Oh no, that was just habit. I didn't have anything else to do here, so... Fujino. Right, I'm sorry. I'll explain now. I came to the committee room on Miss Ryogi's behest. She had asked me to talk to Shiro and find out why he changed his mind. When I got here, Shiro was already talking to someone else. Who was that? Kajin. When she noticed me, she grabbed her things and left the room. Then the light suddenly went out and we discovered we were trapped in here. Yeah, could even use the phone to call for help. We were trying to figure out what we could do when we heard you all coming outside the door. We yelled for you not to come in and to fetch someone who knows a lot about ghost stories. But I guess you couldn't hear us. So, this thing Kajin took with her when she left, was it? Yeah, it was a Japanese sword I was originally planning to sell to Ryogi. Used to be an art dealer, remember? Ryogi's a regular. I usually sell her something once a year. When she told me she'd be staying at this inn, I thought I'd deliver the kanesada she'd been wanting personally and take a little hot spring R&R while I was at it. But at some point, Kajin convinced me to sell the sword to her instead. I still don't know how that happened. So, the suspiciously coy Shiro turned out to be a sword smuggler? So that's why you told Ryogi the deal was off. Because you'd agreed to sell the sword to Kajin instead. That's right, when I received his letter informing me of such last night, I was so upset I could have stabbed my pillow despite hardly being a young girl anymore. But you did do something to your pillow. There were feathers flying around your room after you sliced it clean in half. Let's go back to our rooms, Fujino. I think we need to have a nice long talk about the meaning of friendship. Weren't you listening, Miss Ryogi? We can't leave this room anymore. We're trapped. This is just a human repelling bounded field, right? So all we need to do is cut it. See? No more haunting. It's just like your big sister says. There's nothing better than a storied sword for breaking bounded fields. Drat. I was afraid it might break. This is exactly why I wanted a new one. I didn't know you could break curses with swords. I guess they do say sword saints can cut literally anything, so man, I'll have to remember this if I ever end up fighting a samurai. See, so a miracle sword can cut through bounded fields. That explains what Kajin meant. What are you talking about? When she passed me by, I heard her muttering something about finally being able to open the sealed door. Yeah, well then. The room of no opening. Wait, what did I complete?
旅館の問題点をリスト化してみた。さらにいいものをもらってしまった。
Writing a question mark. Oh hey, there you are. Does the fact that the smoke's gone now mean you exercised the camellia room? Wait, why the long faces? Oh no. Don't tell me Shiro and Fujino are. They're fine, but Kajin's at the room of no opening. We have to hurry. Huh? What are you talking about? Where's Mrs. Ryogi? Ryogi and Fujino are back at their rooms. We'll explain later. Just head back to where Tobimaru is for now. Hey Ozaki, maybe we should call Alice for this. And Tabris, you must be worried about MASH, right? We don't have time for detours. Whoever Kajin is or what she's up to, the omnipotent secret spring is in the room of no opening, right? We can't let her wish be granted. I don't know what's going to show up, if it is, but something definitely will. There's no time, we need to get to the room of no opening ASAP. Gunshot, it came from the old building. They made it. That's too bad. This would have already been over if Sugitani hadn't interfered. But don't worry, Lord of Kumano. Use this body, and together we will truly bring Wen the Kudan to life. Good, it's you guys. You gotta stop her. The puppet chick's finally shown her true colors. What do you mean by that? Are you saying I'm a puppet myself? A tool to be used and manipulated? Because if so... you would be entirely correct. I see you are a wise person, capable of accurately assessing the future. I like people like you. I like to use them for energy. Knowledge, social status, winners, praise. I despise the arrogance they cultivate, the pride they impart. That is why the wish made to the Kumano Spring must be simple above all else. It cannot be for one's own benefit, nor can it rob others of their gains. It must be something clean and pure that doesn't trot on your neighbor's own wishes. That is why the three of you, Aoko, Shizuki, and Tabris, failed to measure up. Not only is a wish to save the world just so run of the mill, it is also one that will never come to pass. Hold up. You didn't poop, did you? Huge monster, is that Wan? My name is a truth born from lies. Whoever speaks of me, that is what I shall become. What is your wish? Do you hold any value? Is it the only one found in this world? There is no second one. In that case, regardless of what tomorrow brings, the star will grant that wish. Yes. No matter how beautiful the wishes or how refined their theory, the very fact that they overlap means the result can only be countless stardust. No, this wish must be the only one of its kind. That single wish is what will produce the number one star. Single wish producing number one star? What is it talking about? I have no idea what it's trying to say, but... just be careful, you two. You too, Tabris, Wen, or whatever that thing is practically dripping with bloodlust. Honestly, part of me would rather just turn tail and run, but that'd just give this thing free rein to run through that door. Yeah, save the thinky stuff for later. We need to settle this now. You give us a hand too, Sugitani. Now's your chance to get your payback. This thing practically screams curse, and you still want to fight it? Screw it, I'll join too. This isn't my deepest wish, but I won't mind having it granted. Hey, Gaijin, I don't know how many prayers to send you on to the next life, so I hope you don't mind if I offer hot lead instead. Let's do this. One of the following servants. Okay, sure. The poor. Let's take you. And then I'll still use you. Let's take some Alice. Sugitani. Well, actually, no, because I don't.
作戦タイムだ。落ち着こう。
これくらい余裕。
動いているなら呼吸はある。
やるすかシャバゾウ。
もちろん。あ、やばい。あれはシャレにならない。むむ。
踊りになって。
いや、したか。熊の相手よりはまあ。
What the? Why is it called that?
動いているなら呼吸はある。投影開始。焼きを入れるか。投影開始。どう？
一番は自分だ。
Man, so. I mean, we'll bust her.
気持ちはわかるよ。熊の相手よりはまあ。
ムクダリどもに甘くないっすか。月を超えて夢にかけて。
さあ出番か。一つ。
Oh, what the fuck?
2.1 流もらっとくか。出番か。 下がったな。俺ね、曲がらんくっ。
掴んで閉じて。
致命傷だけは避けられた。運があるうちに撤退する。
あまりせわしく、私の方はあまりせわしく動かないでください。色あせがいらねえ。
木をよこしな。
遊園地はお好き？命を計りにどうぞこちらへ。道家の王を見つけられて、もう朝まで残ればあなたの勝ちだったのに。
そこに至るはあまたの研鑽。気づきに気づいた刀塚。八重垣作るは戦時の刃。散った成仏していきな。
危ないですね。
Oh shit, that's cool. Damn!
先に寄りに帰って
様子見にしては体が
Well.
んじゃあまあ、ぶちかますかね。赤いトゲは茨のごとくってな。おうせっよいしょっと。任せな任せな。せっよいしょっと。
Who'd have thought I'd have to solo him?
あ？何？今の全力？
I think we won? I've been in this business a long time and you don't see mountain monsters like that every day. I mean, that thing was practically a god. Yeah, it was easily strong enough to curse this whole inn to death. It would definitely have caused more damage if we hadn't stopped it. Well, it's gone now. So's the nasty air that was hanging around the inn. Oh, excuse me. Looks like all's well that ends well. The other haunted spots will probably disappear on their own now too. So that mean the world's not going to end anymore? I think so, even if the omnipotent spring really is in that room. Without Wen Wen around to grant the wish, there shouldn't be any more weird phenomena anymore. In theory, sure. But we still don't know who was wishing for the world to end though. That's the one thing I wish I knew. Master, are you okay? Of course. Man, you're a really fast runner, Mash. I can't keep up at all. It feels so pleasant in here. Does this mean you solved everything? Oh, right. Wait, Kajin's on the ground. What are you people doing? We have to help her. I'm kind of getting the impression she was the bad guy here, but I'm not gonna worry about that now. Snap out of it, Lady Kajin. Nah. Yoshisuke? Is this the room of no opening? So many new faces here. Are they new guests? You don't remember us? Senpai, I think Kajin might have been. Yeah, Wenwen was possessing her. Looks that way. She sure doesn't seem to be faking it. Kajin, you just severed the bounded field around the room of no opening, and you almost turned into Wenwen. Do you understand? I did? I'm so sorry. As a professional puppeteer, I should never have let this happen. Now that you mention it, I do feel as though I've been stuck in a dark place dreaming for a long time. Really? Well, that would explain why you've been acting so weird lately. Your enunciation is usually all over the place, but the last few days you've been speaking totally normally. I was? It must have been thanks to the ox god. I hope I didn't cause any other trouble. The ox god can be very mean. If it wanted to, it could easily make haunted spots even more haunted. So it was you and Wan who powered up the Big Five ghost stories at the worst possible time. You were the ones who lured Ishtarian and us out of the endless hallway to try and kill us. The ones who stole Bazette's briefcase and hid it in the inverse reflection room as a trap. And the one who summoned the ghost in the Camellia room as a last-ditch effort to slow us down. See, no wonder we've been having so much bad luck lately. Really? So the ox god's the reason I got turned into a woman too? No, that was all me. I had a beautiful soul, so I thought it would do you a favor. Ah! I understand you were under Wenwen's control when we got here, Kajin. But may I ask what you were doing here at the Kumano Inn before that? My master was a sorcerer. He came to this mountain to capture the phantasmal, the ox god that lives here. He was interested in the ox god's ability to see the future, but the ox god turned out to be a spirit without a physical body. Once he realized he couldn't capture the ox god, my master left to look for a new supernatural being, and left me behind on this mountain. I've been studying the ox god on his request, and at some point, people began calling me the ox god's priestess. I see. I'm sorry to make you recount such painful memories. Yes, it was very rude. I'm not a priestess. Maybe not, but you obviously had the most ties to this god. That must be why it was able to possess you. Well, now that the door is open... Yeah, let's go see what's inside. You don't mind, right, Kinomi? Oh, sure. Usually I'd be worried about getting cursed, but there's no Wenwen left to curse us now, right? Hey, let's go. I'm curious about what's in there, too. Who knows? Maybe there will be something that'll kick off a second Kumano Inn boom. Well, there you have it, Tab. Looks like we'll just have to go along. I think it should be safe, though. Awazaki still got plenty of pep, and I'm not getting a bad feeling about this, either. Good. It looks like a pit that formed on its own. No wonder it was called Wenwen's Road Home. It doesn't look too steep. As long as we're careful, I think we can make all our way down safely. I'm not detecting any magical energy, just a faint heat signature. I think this is geothermal heat. According to what we heard, this should lead to... Oh, nice. There it is, the 6th secret spring. Now that's what I call a hot spring. So the omnipotent secret spring really did exist. Right, we just defeated Wenwen, so... Yeah, I'm afraid this is just regular hot water, nothing unusual about it. There was strong magical energy coming from the spring of male transformation on the 3rd day, and the spring of happy home life today, but this is just a normal spring, and seems like a good one though. Well, there you have it. Sorry, Kinomi. No worries, I can totally work with this. The atmosphere alone is gonna draw guests like flies to honey. I can put an elevator in the pit and... No, wait. That would ruin the natural ambiance. I'll build a nice wooden staircase for easy access, install some beams to add minimal light fixtures, and then Wenwen's secret spring will be all done. Woo, I can't wait to get started. This is it. This is where I'm gonna turn my whole life around. Man, I'm so glad this whole Kumano Hot Spring murder mystery is behind us now. You know, I think all of us coming together like this is a sign. So how about you guys help me with the building, funding, and marketing? But, what do you think, Awazaki? Anything to say? Nope. At this point, I just have to admire his sheer selfless greed. You win, Kinomi. You win.
To ところでミッションってナース？その輝き、お宝っすね。山のような仕事とかけて、よく晴れた日と解くっす。
Alright. Back to the showers. Or the hot springs, as to say. Nothing beats a dip in a hot spring after a job well done. I see you finally feel like you can take it easy. I'm surprised it's no surprise, seeing how this case has literally been life and death for you. Please don't hold it against her if she starts acting goofy, Mash. I agree, it was so nice of the inn's remaining guests to let us have the outdoor bath again tonight. The one is gone and the case is closed. Then the inn's other haunted spots should fade away in time, though this also means the omnipotent secret spring is gone as well. Thank you for doing such a good job protecting my room, Mash. Now that the haunted spots will be gone, I can finally enjoy some private family time starting tomorrow. So you're still going to stay here for a while then? What about the rest of you? Well, it looks like Kajin's still processing what she went through, so I'll figure I'll stick around a while longer to keep an eye on her. Once she's back to her old self, then I'll tell her how pissed off I've been about these last 2 years. I think I'll stay here for a while longer too. This experience has shown me that I still have a lot to learn. The Hills Pavilion sounds like it should be perfect for training. There won't be any lights in there, and there should be plenty of boulders for target practice. I'm gonna say my goodbyes here. My business is done, and I got all the hot spring time I could want. So I think it's time I go back to my regular life now. Take care, young detectives. If our paths ever cross again, I'll make sure to offer you a discount. Really? Are you sure you want to leave without ever trying our famous outdoor bath? You could always stay another night. Nah, these hardworking youngsters deserve it more than me. Besides, I've got my own outdoor bath at home. Good point, Aoko, Konji. Why don't you take the outdoor bath today? You've certainly earned it. Thank you, don't mind if we do. Hey, I just realized Tobimaru's not here. Anyone know where he is? I saw him in the old building's lobby. He's always there in the evenings. Come to think of it, what is he doing there anyway? I guess he could have been looking for clues about your murder, except he seemed to be sneaking around a lot for that. What? That reminds me, Tsukichi. Where were you early? Oh, you know, I had some time to kill, so I was looking at souvenirs. I've been gone from the office for almost a week. I've got to bring them back a little something if I don't want them resenting me. It's so responsible. You've learned to be really thoughtful about the details in the last 10 years, huh? I know I've always been high-strung. I'm not like you and Aozaki. Deep down, I'm a coward at heart. When push comes to shove, I freeze. If reality throws up a wall, I just turn around and walk the other way. If there's something I can't achieve, I could see myself wishing for a miracle. Is everything okay? Sounds like you've got a lot on your mind. Hardly. I'm enjoying my life just fine, and my future is looking pretty bright. Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're all already from the future, aren't you? Sojiro and I are from 2001. Well, maybe not this Sonoji, but you get my point. Nothing much changed in society when we hit the new millennium, but it still felt like a chance for a fresh start. Most people believe that the time of rapid growth and the time of paying the price for that growth is over now. They think this is the start of an age where everything will be new and progress will continue unchecked. 10 years from now, the gap between rich and poor will be gone, silly prejudices overcome, and countries all over will prosper. It's a world where you can talk about lofty ideals like that and not have people constantly giving you side-eye. So, what are things like in your time, Tab? Is it like the world of the future we see in movies? Let's just say you won't be flying a car anytime soon. Small, everyday items might have surpassed anything people have dreamed of in movies. Mobile devices have had amazing development compared to now. Honestly, I think they've even more revolutionary than flying cars would have been. They've made the world smaller than ever. Riddle said something about that once. I think it was once the world became like a dream come true, people stopped talking about other dreams. I don't agree with that though. People are always going to dream, no matter what the times are like or what they're allowed to. The only thing that changes is who people entrust their dreams to. They won't have to depend on those of their own time anymore. Entrusting one's dreams to people from a different time, huh? So even if one's time, the world one lives and ends up at an evolutionary dead end, people born in that world could still be accepted and loved by a later world. Even if, say, that world was erased because it wasn't the right way forward. You're quite the romantic, Mash. That's not the example I was thinking of, but it's wonderful. Our history is full of incidents where one culture was trampled and a new one was born from its remains. But there will always be people to inherit dreams that have no place to go. That hope of yours is the kind of thing that leads to the world growing bigger. Sounds like they're talking some pretty complex stuff over there. Should we do the same? You mean stuff like investing in stocks? Sure. No, don't bother. I shouldn't have brought up this topic in the first place. In fact, no matter what the future has in store, there's no way it could beat what we've got here. Just look at us. We're enjoying a private outdoor bath at a fancy inn under a beautiful night sky. And we're doing it with friends and colleagues we all like and get along with. Life doesn't get any better than this. So let's wait to talk about the future again in our own times and just enjoy what we've got now, in this moment. And so, the case of Wenwen at the Kumano Inn in the year 2001 drew to a close. The men and women gathered here from different worlds and different times gazed up at the starry sky. Their thoughts turned to memories of their own times, inspiring them to appreciate the daily lives they had left behind. And so, with both Wenwen's true identity and the killer's motive still unknown, Earth's last night came to an end. The next morning, Awazaki Aoko's dead body was discovered at the public bath. Again? Of course. This will be Aoko's sixth death. Large a bath. Unlock by completing a quest, which means these are still there. Level 85. Sure. Actually, let's take this one. Whatever. Maybe she clears the first wave. Oh, but they're all here.
Wow.
色あせた夢にいい月の油を Wow.
次は
Wow.
いい月の油を
Wow.
次は
Wow.
いい月の油を 開演の時ね。空を仰いで恐れなさい。マインスターの3つの奇跡。グレート3、クラットスナーク。来るがいい。このそうね。早く。朽ちるムクロよりいでよ。炎の息、鉄の翼、フォローハート、アルビオン。月を越えて夢にかけて簡単に終わらないように目によく言いました。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢、最果てにありながらトリバースを試し、ロードレスキャメロン。しからばこれが勝利。悪くない。空っぽの胸が弾むようだ。季節は春。いよいよ新生活が始まり。
お互いの安全のためだ。インフォメーションは見ておいてくれ。青崎相手に次の依頼だ。焦らず一休みしてから取り掛かろう。
Karakuri Sorcerer. Special attack. Affecting Grey. Gain 3 stars when attacking within Grey card. What? That's cool.
さらにいいものをもらって。
These are still here. Let's do this. Yeah, this'll work.
Yoru no utame waと月を越えて夢にかけてクラウン。次は遊園地はお好き？命を計りにどうぞこちらへ。道化の王を見つけられて、ああ、朝まで残ればあなたの勝ちだったんだね。やる。女神でないかしら。醜悪だね。女神でないかしら。復讐そうでなくちゃ。寝台回帰、臨界、始まりの領域、花開く命の音、すべてひとときの夢のようなエディン・シュグラクエーサー。ムクダリどもに甘くないっすか？チョコだけこの体、ちょっとこの星黙って一番の心臓を。朽ちるムクロよりいでよ。炎の息、鉄の翼、フォローハート、アルビオン。私は原始宇宙から来た女神。一時の勝利など嬉しくもなくもないわ。 シックススイングビドーで夜の宴は遠く近くクラウン
出席確認。
次は
この決め顔もしかしなくても天使グレート3はいいアリサも移せアリサをって自分まだいますよスターク同じラスダーク
不勉強。歴史数学出席確認。起立。世界は学びに満ちている。ならば今こそ人は学ぶ時。知識こそが悪を断つ。マハープララヤ。
いいよなぜなにプロイ
謎は
そうね早く飛びなさい彼方の空へお前はたとえ残骸であろうともこれで
What the?
無謀
例
いいわ
出席確認。ケアレスミス。
圧倒的勝利すごすぎてのたうち回る
マインスターの魔女ですもの当然よ
Oh yeah. Let's take the level 120 key ray. Wait, is he a friend? Yeah, he's a friend.
シックススイング
ムクドリどもに甘くないっすか
なぜなにプロイ
謎は深まる一方っすね
はっクラウンいいわ
いい機会だ。
遊園地はお好き命を計りにどうぞこちらへ道化の王を見つけられてああ朝まで残ればあなたの勝ちだったのねスコーンはないのか早く
これは
飛びなさい彼方の空へお前はたとえ残骸であろうともこれで何It's amazing
走り
気が向いている。すくい上げ食べるかね。リテカル
今回だけ
キー
早く
ポール式苦痛苦悩死を食う蛇生きる糧くべる薪に集いたまえザジガーニエアンリマユ何か得るものはあったかね。よろしい業を積み重ねたのだ。
敵下等生命体発見。交戦を開始する。
楽しんでおりますぞ。
黙って
さようですか。光の時これまで疑似神格並列接続暗黒太陽臨界狂乱怒涛悪霊作。
この服は汚したくないな。いいで、ちゃんと
それはそれは。
飛びなさい、彼方の空へ。お前はたとえ残骸であろうとも。これで女神でないかしら。耐えてみてさ。女神でないかし
増やしておきまする。楽しんでおりますぞ。
ら。そうでなくちゃ。寝台回帰臨界。始まりの領域。花開く命の音。すべてひとときの夢のようなレディーシグラクエーサー。しからばこれが勝利。悪くない。空っぽの胸が弾むようだ。
Hell yeah.
増やしておきまする。
ねえ、次は
光の時これまで疑似神格並列接続暗黒太陽臨界狂乱怒涛悪霊作。
いいよ、両断する。さあ、ちゃんと命令して。朽ちるムクロよりいでよ。炎の息、鉄の翼、フォローハートアルビオン。より早く。
愉快なり楽しんでおりますぞ。
先人に学ぶとし命をかけろ。試練の時だ。リテカーチよろしい。
ちゃんと命令して。
夜の影獣のうなり死の毒の犬どもよ。今こそ声高く笑うがいい。
ギニ
真夏の花火でもこさえるとしましょうか、マスター。
そうなんだ。いいでしょう。
さ
ちゃんと命
ようですか
令して。飛びなさい、彼方の空へ。お前はたとえ残骸であろうとも。これで
増やしておきまする。
早く。
秋光殿お目覚めよ。来たれ暗黒の帳。太陽はここに生まれ変わる。狂乱怒涛悪霊作。いかがです。愉快なり増やしておきまする。
命をかけろ。救いあれ。 いてかちよろしい。
それはそれは。
夜の影、獣のうなり、死の毒の犬どもよ。今こそ声高く笑うがいい。
しからば
ではでは、夏のバーベキューと参りましょうや。
なんか手に入ったっすか？山のような仕事とかけて、よく晴れた日と解くす。山のような仕事とかけて、よく晴れた日と解くす。かくしてシャバドートマスター。ところでミッションってなんす？その輝きお宝っすね。
Part 1. All right. Yeah, little ambiance. Day 6 of the Kumano Hot Springs race shift. Public bath, early morning. Whoa. But forget living only twice. This is the 5th time the magician's died now. Right, I'm sorry. This is no time to be standing around in shock. We need to put out the fire and then check if that's Alko or not. I'm impressed, Mash. You never lose your cool, no matter what the situation. There aren't many people out there with the humanity to voice what they believe even when they're not entirely sure. I wish a certain burning someone would take a page from your book. She should be showing up any moment now, right? But, damn it, I was afraid I might be dead. Just when I finally linked up with my memories too. Wow, there sure are a lot of people here. Did I get to know you all here or something? If I did, you must be really confused right now. Sorry about that. Could anyone tell me what's going on? And that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the story, huh? Funny. What, are you sure you didn't embellish anything for a laugh? No? Oh, okay. Man, I'm so sorry, Tabris. On behalf of all 5 of me. Okay, Awazaki. Now that you're all caught up again, what do you make of this latest murder? Let me see. Well, I can tell you right now that I was the killer. I can recognize the results of my own magical bullets. You said that Wen created imposters of the other guests, and those turned out to be the killers, right? Ishtaran wanted to become younger, Bazette wanted to find romance. Sugitani Rainbow wanted male body again, and Ryogi wanted a happy home life for her family. The other Alkers were all killed in different ways, ambushed, a duel to the death, taking a bullet for someone else. But this murder looks pretty one-sided to me. Can you tell why? Because the spring is dry? Which must have bitch spring's power. Exactly. Sharon went in the first secret spring and she really did come out younger. Normally that would be when the 1-1 system kicked in. And an exact imposter of her would show up and kill her now that her wish was granted. But Alka 1 stopped that from happening and ended up dying in her place. That makes Ishtaran the only guest here to have her wish come true and live to tell about it. Right, none of the people who came here for the 2nd to 4th springs had their wishes granted. In fact, to begin with, Alka was already in the bath making sure they couldn't get in, but their wishes were still genuine. That's why the imposters showed up. They don't need an imposter to enter the bath first. As long as someone with an applicable wish is present, their doppelganger will appear and kill them in exchange for granting it. At least, that's how Wen curse system was supposed to work. but Aoko threw a wrench in the cycle. We could tell because the baths were still full. The magical energy in the water is presumably what grants the wish, so it probably disappears once that occurs. But on the second, third, and fourth days, the water was still there. The doppelgangers appeared, but the corresponding wishes never came true. Really? I had no idea the secret spring was such a hassle. Hang on, so the fact that the spring of stiff shoulder annihilation is empty now means Aozaki must have gone in. I won't say what her reason probably was, but I bet she was thinking, I've already stopped the curse 3 times and Wen is gone, so there shouldn't be any harm in trying the spring for myself now. Or something along those lines. What? Don't be silly. Of course I wouldn't think of something like that. I swear, Shizuki, you're always so perceptive when it matters the least. See? You know, your grown-up self did say to watch out for this spring. Let me rephrase. I swear, you're always too perceptive when I don't want you to be. Anyway, I guess my other me's reasoning was half wanting to try it and half needing to try it. She probably went to verify it on her own because she didn't want to ruin the case closed celebrations. After all, you guys never did find out why Aoko 1 came here in the first place. Anyway, on a different note, why aren't you more fazed by all this, Tobimaru? Why would I be? It's a simple numbers game. You die, you get replaced. That's how this system works. Day 1, Aozaki 1 appears. Day 2, Aozaki 1 dies, replaced by Aozaki 2. Day 3, 2 dies, replaced by Aozaki 3. Day 4, 3 dies, replaced by Aozaki 4. Day 5, Aozaki 5 appears and dies. Aozaki 4 remains alive. But since Aozaki 5 wouldn't show up unless 4 was dead, I knew she would have to die at some point. And now here we are. I'm guessing Aozaki 4 picked up on this paradox too. So you knew all along and you never said anything. I see you're still shouldering everything so nobody else has to. At any rate, it seems the spring's water is still working, so I suppose Wan wasn't responsible after all. Yeah, but so what? Let's just forget about this and go home already. The worst that happens is Aozaki dies again. Maybe so, but no, we can't leave yet. Seriously, the whole world's gonna end unless we solve this. Really? You mean you're finally going to destroy the world, Prez? Not her, no. But I don't blame you for reacting that way, Kinomi. It really doesn't feel like the world's in any danger. Tabris, you originally came here to repair Singularity, right? What do you think? Things don't seem that dire to me either, but I trust Aoko. Well, alright then, let's all put our heads together and try to figure this out. Besides, Tobimaru, do you really think you go back to Tokyo now without a bad taste in your mouth? No, I guess not. And I suppose we did start this investigation because we didn't want the world to end. Okay, we can have one final discussion. It's the Vice President's job to support the President after all. We still don't know what Aozaki-1 saw that made her jump here in the first place. But you should at least have an idea of when she saw it, right, Aozaki? Seeing as you're her and all. Of course, I knew that when I came here. The first move was originally sent here in 99. So that's our only lead, 1999? I guess we can take a look at the hotel register from back then. Where do you keep it, Kinomi? My old registers? Those are in the lobby. I can show them to you right now. Oh, but don't get your hopes up, okay? There's really nothing interesting written in them. Okay, here's all my old registers. There's one for each year. Thank you for sharing these confidential documents with us. I know this information should usually be kept private, but this is an emergency. Don't worry, it's fine. The only things written down are the guest names, addresses, and whether they caused any problems during their stay. And that's mainly just so we can be sure we tell any egregiously entitled customer that we're all filled up the next time they want to book a room. I see, so inns rate their guests, just like guests rate their lodgings. I'll have to remember that. 1999. Here, this is it. Okay, so in May of 99, ooh, the guests who stayed here were Ryogi, Shiro, Ishtarin, Sugitani, Fujino, Bazette, and Karen. That's strange. What could this mean? Aside from us, those are the exact same guests as this week. They were even staying on the exact same days. Wow, that's one hell of a coincidence. But I guess these things happen when everyone goes on holiday at the same time. Let's see, 2 years ago, I'd already taken over the inn, and I think Lady Kajin was here too. So it was the same situation 2 years ago. What's going on here, Kinomi? The thing is, I don't remember May of 2 years ago at all. It's like it poofed out of my mind. Can you elaborate on that? It's hard to explain. The best I can do is I forgot. I'd even forgotten. I was just as surprised as you guys when I saw the hotel register just now. It feels like something that happened to someone else. Oh hey, I think it was like that for the other guests too. I mean, nobody else said anything about how this is just like last time either, right? Oh, so it's not just you. None of the other guests remember being here 2 years ago either, which means... Yeah. Did you just realize something? It all makes sense now. I finally know what Alco 1 did. Guys, let's continue this in the Sky Room. I've got to tell you something. But... Hang on, what's your name doing in the register for this year? This case would have gone a lot smoother if Alco 1 had actually explained what was going on. So I need to start by apologizing on her behalf. I'm sorry. Even if she felt like she couldn't trust anyone. She should at least have let you all know what was going to happen in 1999. Does that mean you know how the world is supposed to end now? I do. It was only bits and pieces, but I managed to sync up the memories of what Alco 1 saw. In May of 99, an unidentified entity that can only be described as a star shows up at this location. The moment it does, it blows away everything in the Kumano area, then it releases a magical energy wind that raises the rest of the region. My guess is the star will keep emitting magical energy forever, generating storms as long as humans exist. As long as humans exist? Speaking hypothetically, does that mean the star will run out of magical energy and stop if it wipes human civilization off the face of the planet? No, I wouldn't have been sent here if that were the case. Civilization destruction isn't part of my jurisdiction. I'm in charge of matters involving the extinction of humankind. Not that anyone assigned it to me, but still. So, a star that destroys the world, or rather humankind, in 1999. I know this one. Nostradamus prophesied way back when that a great and terrible king would come to Earth from Mars in July 1999. I don't know if that prophecy is true or not, but I can say for sure that nothing happened in 1999. Not to mention the month is all wrong. You said the star appeared in May, right, Alco? That's right, Mash. The star has nothing to do with Angomois. And if it was just an ordinary meteorite, humankind would have ways to deal with it. We can track meteorite trajectories years ahead of time, and we have the moon to shield us. which means this star is an existential threat to humanity that would never exist under normal circumstances. Even if a meteorite were to somehow snake its way past Jupiter, it would be drawn into the far side of the moon, and that would be that. So instead of coming from space, the star must have come out of the ground. Out of the ground? So there's a star buried in the Kumano Mountains? That's right, which brings us to the question of what happened in 99. Please don't freak out when you hear this next part, especially you, Mash and Tabris. Back in 1999, Alka 1 decided this situation was too much for her to handle on her own, and decided to trust that a solution would be found in the future. Specifically, she took this entire singularity and kicked it 2 years down the road. Then, you don't mean you made this 2001 singularity? I guess so. That explains why you haven't found the Holy Grail yet, too. How could you when I'm the source? Man, no wonder my magical energy's been so low. I'm still maintaining the singularity even as we speak. I wonder how long I'll have to keep this up for. Ah! Yeah, that's... wow. I had no idea you could move singularities at all. Sure, it's like when you're about to lose at a board game, so you sweep away the board so no one can play anymore. Of course, in this case, that doesn't change the game's outcome at all, and it arguably makes it even worse. So this 2001 Kumano N singularity, is that even worse outcome? And you're responsible? I said I was sorry. There was nothing else I could do at the time. As much as Aoko needs you to teach her to have a heart, Mash, we should save that for later. Let's focus on the present. So, this unidentified star that showed up in 99, that happened in the singularity, right? Then Alka 1 sent this 1999 singularity to 2001, and 1999 ended without incident. I get all that, but then what happened to the Kumano Inn in May of 1999 after it was sent to the future? The historical record for the time should be blank, but this document said as much, right? It also means that Hinomi and the other guests staying here at that time have no memory of that month. And now this unidentified star incident that was going to happen in 1999 is happening now, this year. I guess this is history's corrective power at work. It always tries to cause events to occur if they should have already happened. So, because this incident was pushed from 99 to now, all the same factors from 99 have gathered here again. Which means if this incident began 2 years ago with the same guest, then one of the guests here now must be the culprit. That makes sense, but we've already ruled out all the guests, no? Exactly, Lady Kajin was just under the Oxgod's influence, and you guys already took care of that. So doesn't that mean this star isn't going to show up anymore? Good point. I'm sure Alka 1 came here looking for the culprit. But she got killed before she found them. The other Alkals may have not known exactly what was going on. But they must have thought that the secret springs granting a wish was the trigger, which is why they kept watch over them every morning. But it turned out that the Wen system was producing the doppelgangers, so they never realized what the star really is, or the suspect responsible for it. We're officially out of leads. No, there's still a suspect, someone who fits that bill better than anyone else here by far. Really? You could tell? Yeah, I don't usually like relying on the process of elimination, but in this case, that's the quickest way to arrive at the answer. First, let's get the timeline straight. You said Alka 1 came here from 2 years ago. Because this is when the star is supposed to merge and destroy humankind, but why now, 2 years later? Obviously because nothing happened until now, and until it did, there was nothing for her to find. To put it another way, it means this unidentified star thing requires 2 years to emerge. It probably takes that long to charge up or something, and that should have been true in 1999 as well. So if the star's first emergence was in 99, that would mean whatever created the star happened 2 years before that, in 1997. Yeah, I didn't think about that since I can't send things to the past, but you're right. That brings us to our possible suspects, the inn's guest. Each one had their own reasons, their own humble wishes for being here. But while those wishes may have triggered the 1-1 system that kept killing Awazaki every morning, they had nothing to do with the star. Which means we can eliminate every guess with a clearly known reason for being here from the list of suspects. So let's go over every guess and their reasons now. Febres Amash came here from Chaldea to repair this very singularity. They in turn summoned my assistant for reasons I still don't understand to help them. Then there's the eccentric who came from 99 to save the world, and me, a detective who came to find a missing person despite usually rejecting such requests. There was Ishtaran who wanted to become younger, Baset who ostensibly came here on work but was actually here for the secret springs. She came here with Karen, who in turn wanted to see what would happen to Baset. I won't publicly disclose Sugitani Rainbow's objective here, but I'd say it's known fact by this point. Ryogi came here with her family to wish her a happy home life and to procure a new sword. Fujino was Ryogi's hired bodyguard, and Shiro came here to sell Ryogi the sword. Kumanoan might have seemed suspicious, but he was just an ordinary comedian, and Kajin was just a victim of unfortunate circumstances. And there you have it. Those are all the guests whose reasons for being here are clear. Still can't think of anyone whose reasons we don't know. That just leaves one person, someone who still has yet to share what it is she's doing here. But, so tell us, Konji, what are you doing here? I didn't think anything of it at first, since you and Awazaki are close friends, but you were here at this inn from the beginning. Awazaki is here from the future. You could say Sojiro was summoned here from the past. But you're from the present day. Friend or not, it makes no sense that you would have accompanied Awazaki here. You mean, you were here for your own reasons, Alice? I thought you'd come to help me. What a strange thing to say, Aoko. Have I ever been the sort of person who would come to help a friend out of goodness of my heart, despite not hearing from her for years? Ouch! Wouldn't it hurt you to sugarcoat it a little? Konji, nobody thought twice about why you might be here because we were all so used to seeing you and Awazaki together. But then I noticed a certain name on the hotel register from May 1st, 1997. Konji Alice. Which means you were here right at the time when the unidentified star would have been planted to emerge 2 years later. It's time to fess up. You're the culprit, aren't you? I just came here to recover something I left behind, or rather, what was stolen from me. 4 years ago, one of my ploy kickchaws went missing in this inn. Only one. Number 1 shiny star. It looks just like an ordinary gumball machine, except that it can't grant a single wish. What? Of course it's Alice. Let's do that. Part 2. Yeah. The concept of the toy gumball machine was a box of wishing stars. The last witch was inspired to make it from a similarity-styled gumball machine she happened to see on her way home from the grocery store. She was drawn to its novelty. Such things had long gone out of fashion, and it had clearly been a long time since anyone used it. She inserted a coin, turned the handle, and out popped a gumball with a hearty clunk. There were many different colors and flavors of gum inside, so the witch didn't get the kind she wanted. She then stood there for a moment, taking in the wonder of the situation. I got something completely different from what I was hoping for. It was like life itself. Life is full of moments like this. Struck by inspiration, The witch raced home and began making her idea into a reality. She would fill her machine with many different wishes. She would gather many different stars. I want to be rich. I want friends. I want a lover. I want a pet dog. I want a job. I want a family. I want to improve. I want to pass my tests. I want to get married. I want to be successful. I want to feel secure. I want to be loved. I want to do that last part over. I want to recover my losses. I want to get back the shine I lost. I want to forget that ever happened. There, everything is now in place. One turn of the handle and a wishing star candy will pop out. If it is the same as your dearest wish, the one you hold deep in your heart, if such a miracle were to take place, then that wish must surely be the number one wish in the world. The witch named her toy with that concept in mind. Toy Kickshot, Wishing Star Box, only one, number one shiny star. A tool for granting only one, your number one, wish. That's the Ploy Kickshot I lost at the Kumano Inn 4 years ago. It's a personal wish granter, a box of wishing stars. So it's like a gacha machine, but for wishes? Gacha? Does that have a novel ring to it? It's too bad I didn't know that term when I made it. This is no time to be regretting your naming decisions. That ploy is what's causing this, right? How could you lose something that dangerous? I can't even begin to describe how grossly negligent that was. Please refrain from slander. I told you it was stolen. This was back in '97. I had to figure out what to do with all the ploys I didn't have any more use for. My house was already over capacity with curses, so I couldn't store any more cursed objects there. But I also couldn't just throw things that dangerous in the trash. That's why I chose this mountain. At first I stayed in a small cottage while I worked to dismantle them, but then I caught sight of this inn. I decided to change venues to somewhere more relaxing, and it worked. The work went apace. I perfectly unraveled the cursed power holding the ploys together and completely neutralized them. Then when I made my way back down the mountain, I made little stone shrines in various places and held memorial services for each of the ploys. However, after I got back to my house, I checked my toolbox and realized I had an extra dismantling tool left over. I realized then that I must have lost one of the ploys before I could dismantle it, but couldn't remember what it was. Looking back now, it seems clear that the ox god hiding in this inn's basement swiped it from me and altered my memory so that I couldn't clearly recall what I had and hadn't dismantled. The ox god shows people's wishes in the form of their future, so it must have wanted the wishing star box as its new body. It makes sense that it would be drawn to another wish granter. The ox god may kill whoever it shows the future to, but that's not because it hates people. I think it just enjoyed granting people's wishes and only kept producing new victims inadvertently. Wait, isn't that just killing for pleasure? Shush, Shizuki, I feel the same way, but now's not the time. So, you don't know where the wishing star box is either then, Alice? No, I don't. Now do you see, I did nothing wrong, and I'm not responsible for this situation. That's not true, Miss Alice. What you meant to say was you can't take responsibility for it. But, still, going back to what you said earlier, I don't remember much of May of '99 either, so I'm pretty sure I must have come here then too. For the purposes of this discussion, let's suppose that the wishing star box somehow became activated in 1999. If, around the start of that year, I'd heard that the Kumano Hot Springs business was booming, I would have remembered that a ploy was stolen from me there 2 years ago and gone to retrieve it. However, since I'm not used to climbing mountains and I would have known it'd be dangerous, I wouldn't want to go alone. Which means there's a strong possibility I would have asked someone who is familiar with mountains to come along. But, But according to you, Alko, that retrieval attempt must have failed. So I would have ended up defeated and something must have gone wrong with the wishing star box. I see, so 99, you came here before I did to try and stop the star thing, but you failed. Now I finally understand why you were summoned here as a servant, Sojiro. You do? Why? The only reason it makes sense for you to be a servant now is if you died on this mountain and were summoned in a spirit body. Anyway, at least now we have identified what the unidentified star is. Anything else we should know about the wishing star box, about shiny star, Alice? Because your mother's heirloom minster employees aside, I'm not too thrilled at how easily you were able to make something capable of destroying the world. This is just speculation on my part, but I think adding the Ox God characteristics to it must have strengthened it. If so, then Shiny Star would gain more power with every wish granted. That's probably why there are 5 springs that grant their own wish. Let's say it goes up a grade every time it grants someone's wish and takes their life. You know how we often rate products in stores with a star system? You can think of this just like that. Every wish the Ox God enhanced Shiny Star grants makes it go up a star rating. It granted 5, so now it has 5 stars. That must have been how it was able to defeat you so soundly back in 1999. Why do you look proud of that? It defeated you too, didn't it? I get it. And SSR. SSR? Is that short for something? Oh, sorry, never mind that, Sojiro. That's just a little rem inside joke Senpai likes to make. More importantly, if Shiny Star's rating is going up, that must mean you've learned to sound pretty rem yourself, Ash. So 2 years ago in 1999, Shiny Star used the 5 secret springs to grant guest wishes and upgrade itself. At the time, Aozaki determined she wasn't able to stop it and sent the whole singularity into the future. In doing so, she basically forced the 1999 Shiny Star into becoming a dud. It's an even worse cover-up than tampering with election results, but what's done is done. Let's say she made the right call. Yeah, you know politics was never my strong suit. My guess is, Alka 1 knew there was no way she could stop the Shiny Star in that condition. She might not have known exactly how it worked, but from its characteristics and the way it attacked, she probably at least figured out that she had to stop it from granting wishes again. So she kicked the singularity down the road to the next time when the Shiny Star would appear, then went there herself to head it off. She must have been trying to lower its ratings before she fought it again. That's why she said something like, "Nobody's getting their wish granted on my watch." So, Shiny Star granted 2 wishes, youth and annihilated stiff shoulders, which means its ratings is at 2 stars. Though it could have been just 1 star if a certain someone had exercised better judgment. Yeah, excuse me for wanting to treat myself for once. Still, the Shiny Star at a 2-star rating should be much weaker than the one Alko 1 faced in 1999. So doesn't this mean that Alko's plan worked perfectly? Right? I'm glad you at least understand, Mash. All we have to do now is destroy Shiny Star, and this case will be well and truly closed. Of course, we still have to figure out where it is first. I still have no idea. Hang on, there's one thing about this Shiny Star that still isn't adding up for me. If it was granting wishes to upgrade its rating, then whose wishes was it granting? Was it just granting its own wish to improve its capabilities? Or was there someone else trying to make Shiny Star stronger so that it could grant a bigger wish? That's an excellent point, Shizuki. You're exactly right. Shiny Star has no desires of its own. It only grants wishes for the people who activate it. which means someone must have been the first to turn its handle and get lucky with their wish. But to grant that wish, the ploy first had to upgrade its wish granting capabilities, its star rating, as we've been calling it. I'd bet that's also why these hot springs suddenly gained 5 secret ones that each granted a different wish. That's good to hear. How so? I don't see anything good about this. It means your ploy didn't start making trouble on its own. Just knowing that makes me glad I came here. I guess that's true. This would mean the real culprit is still at large. Someone at this end must be holding on to the shiny star in secret. It won't do anything unless it's trying to grant someone's wish, which means someone must have it even now. I suspect you already have an idea who that could be, Tabris. That's amazing, Senpai. Please tell us the answer then. I'm worried my knees aren't going to give out under all these high hopes you're piling on me, Mash. I know how you feel, so I'll spare you the burden. The answer's pretty obvious. Shiny Star disappeared in 1997, right? So that must mean... That's right, there's only one other person here who was also here in 1997. Kinomi. You were the one who invited me to stay here 4 years ago, weren't you? Stop, please don't say any more. I didn't steal it, I swear. I just found it in my room after you left. Oh my god, really? It was you! This motherfucker. It was me! But you can't blame me! How was I supposed to know that toy was so dangerous? Well, it is. Now hurry up and hand it over. Once we destroy it, these hot springs will finally be safe. Okay, I'll go get it. But... it was all Kinomi? No, wait, maybe that's not quite right. He did say he just found it in his room. What do you think, Honji? I believe him. Even if the Ox God or someone it was possessing stole Shiny Star from my room, it wouldn't have any wishes of its own. It just likes to grant other people's wishes. So someone nearby would have had to be the one to activate Shiny Star. Kinomi must have been the perfect pasty. Patsy, since he just started living here after the last owner took a liking to him. That being said, what now? Is there still not something nagging at you? I still don't understand how this happened. Shiny Star was a failure. Man, I'm bushed. Here, part of me hates to see it go, but this is it, right? But... oh, that's it. That was surprisingly easy. I was expecting you to put up more of a fight, Kinomi. The Kumano Inn's welfare comes first. Anyway, you said this will stop the world from ending, right, Prez? That's right. On that, you have my word. Thank you, Kinomi. In the end, we couldn't have done this without you. Oh, so what did you wish for when you turned the handle, anyway? I'm not telling you that. Huh? Wait, Ako, let me see that. I knew it. Wen is in here, or rather, the stuff that created it. The Ox God must have kept a part of itself inside Shiny Star, so that it could still function as Wen even if its main body was gone. Shiny Star must have already been half Wen when it activated in 1999. Damn, seriously? Is this all because I made up that name and legend? It just picked up on something you said, Kinomi. If it hadn't been Wen, it would have been something else. Anyway, this means we'll need to finish exercising Wen first. Let's go to the room of no opening. We should be able to get rid of Wen once and for all if we bring Shiny Star to the omnipotent spring. After that, I'll let you decide what to do next, Alko. Whatever you choose, I won't stop you. I'll take the lead and let you know if I find any dangerous protrusions along the way. So far, everything looks the same as it did yesterday. Dockscott is completely gone after yesterday's event. All that's left of it is the part that stayed behind inside Shiny Star. It looks like everyone made it down safely. I'll go next. Guess we should go down too. Wanna go first, Alice? No, you go first. That way you can catch me if I slip and fall. Why are you acting so scared? If you're that afraid, maybe I should just scoop you up and jump down. But... Hey Alko, what made you think Shizuki died here? It's not like you saw it happen, right? Well, no, I probably didn't even see his body, but I can still tell how he must have died. There's only one way a guy who I could easily see surviving a world-shattering meteorite could end up dead. He died protecting you. Not when I'm sleeping going for work. What? What are you talking about, cowboy? What's up, man? I haven't heard or seen you in forever. When are you going? You going to work right now? Like in the middle of the night? Or are you going to sleep to go to work in the morning? I see. If that's what you think, maybe you're right. Hey, I'm ready. Let's get this over with. Hand Shiny Star to me, okay, Alko. It's my Friday. Hell yeah. Going to sleep for work. So what are you going to do with it? Good question. What do you think I'm going to do with it? Submerge it? Destroy it? Wrong. If that was all it needed, we could have done it back in our room. No, the correct answer is this. You're putting it in the water? Won't it rust? For that matter, if the hot water gets inside. Yep. Wanwan, Tsukiji, Hosuke, please stand back. It's okay, I can handle this myself. Wanwan disappeared. What was that? Its last lingering traces or something? That's right, the springs grant wishes by appearing as the wishmaker remember. What you just saw was the future, the wish of the remains of Wanwan itself that were still hiding in Shiny Star. Of course, now that its body is gone, I was able to defeat it easily since it no longer had any power. I also now understand why I had trouble fighting back against the devil in the reference room. It's because Shiny Star was jamming other ploys. Essentially, it was putting up a kind of field that kept lesser ploys from working. Say, does that mean the name Wanwan is... Right, I heard someone saying Wanwan in a dream and decided to borrow it for Wanwan's name. So all we have to do now is shut down the ploy kickshaw? I hate to destroy such a beautiful object though. Is that really the only way to stop it? I'm afraid so. I still don't know how it got activated in the first place. So our only choice is to dismantle it. What is it, Awazaki? Is there something else you haven't told us? There actually is. This is something all you should know. Once we destroy Shiny Star and the world is safe again, I'll end up going back to my original time and this singularity will disappear. The Kumano Inn will then go back to being the same peaceful inn it was before, aside from all the hauntings anyway. At the same time, it'll be as if 1999 singularity never happened, since I'm the one keeping the two singularities linked. Oh my god, what? Oh my god? That means the world-ending threat in 1999 will go away. And destroying Shiny Star here in 2001 will prevent that threat from ever arising here too. That's great. It makes this whole investigation worthwhile. Now I can finally go home. However, it also means that Sojiro's death will become permanent. Not everything that happens in the singularity goes away, even when space-time is repaired. People who die in the singularity will still be treated as if they died at that time, even after the singularity is repaired. Ah, facts are always made to line up, regardless of how they happened. So you're saying destroying Shiny Star here won't change the fact that I died at the Kumano Inn in 1999? Which means that I'll officially have died in 99 in exchange for closing the case now. That's right, it's the surest way to keep the world safe. No thank you, what about my safety? Isn't there any other way? I don't know, is there any other way? Doesn't seem likely. There is, since the reason Shusuke died in 1999 was because he got caught up in this whole incident. If we destroy Shiny Star and repair the singularity before he dies, we can save the world and his life. How so? You say he already died, right? Not necessarily. Sojiro died inside the singularity, which means that as long as he's still alive when the singularity ends, the facts will still line up. It's not too late to go back to 1999 either. The only thing keeping the singularity in 2001 is me. If I just undo the lock, it'll automatically go back in time to 2 years ago. At the same time, I can set our own timeline to when that singularity begins. Then all we need to do is destroy Shiny Star before Alice and Sojiro show up, while its damage can still be contained. So on that note, I have a request to make. I'm sorry, but is it okay if we go back to 1999? Hell yeah, it is. Okay, if we're gonna do this, let's do it. But what are we gonna find when we get back to 1999? I'd like to say it'll be an unbelievable sight, but the truth is, the moment I cut off my magical energy holding the singularity in 2001, we'll be back in 1999. The singularity back then was something of a disaster zone, so I can't guarantee your safety. Once we get there, find some big rocks to hide behind and look for Shiny Star. The rest of us will take it from there. Oh man. Between me, Alice, Tabris, and Mash, I think we stand a good chance. What's up, cowboy? What are you talking about? What happened? And this time, we'll have another advantage. Remember how two of the same things can't exist in the same time? Well, when we bring the 2001 2-star Shiny Star back to the same time as 1999 5-star Shiny Star, the 2 Shiny Stars will combine and the 5-star one will be tuned to 2 stars. So that's why you didn't let it grant my any wishes. That's right, Alko 1 couldn't tell what she was up against, but she still figured out a way to weaken it. What Alko is saying, this is great. It sounds like we've got everything going for us. Alright then, let's get going. I want to see this world of wishes come true for myself. Not me, thanks. You all go on without me. Why are you raining on our parade, Your Highness? This is a battle to protect the world and save your friend's life, right? Why are you getting cold feet now? Are you that scared of dying? Of course I am, jackass. I don't want to keep my wife waiting for me any longer. But you're married, Your Highness, even though we all swore we'd be lifelong bachelors when we were in school? I'm sorry, Sojiro. I promised her I'd get back safely, so I can't go with you any further. My detective work is done. I'm sure you all can take it from here. Don't give it a second thought, and congrats, Tobimaru. So what is the star exactly? It's just a gumball machine, like a wish-granting gumball machine. Yeah, and look, your man Toby is married. Thanks. Feels weird having you congratulate me twice, but I appreciate it. So, who's the lucky lady? I'm sure my adult self knows, but I don't. Well, if you've met, I'll introduce you over the phone sometime. What? Well, that clears up that mystery. The reason you went to the old building at 6 on the dot every evening was so that you could call your wife in Tokyo and tell her you're gonna be home soon? Go to hell. Forget this traitor, Shizuki. When this is all done, you should quit your job at his agency. Sorry, Tobimaru, but that's not happening. You're too involved to turn back now. Since you all know what's going on, you're all going to come back to 1999 with me whether you want to or not. Huh? Wait, that's why you opened up with an apology? So you knew this would happen when you explained the situation to us? I sure did. I knew you'd catch on quick, Tobimaru. Even 10 years later, you're still the best vice president I could ask for. Oh, la. Never mind. Yes. I guess Toby is stuck with us. He has to come backyard? What the fuck? Alrighty then. We're appearing at the backyard? Okay, stop here. This is where I'm going to undo the lock, keeping the singularity in 2001. Once I do, our surroundings should immediately snap back into 1999, kind of like a rubber band. It can be pretty disorienting, so if any of you get motion sick easily, you might want to close your eyes. I do get sick from race shifts a lot. This story is cute. Yeah, it's been cute. I've been quite enjoying it. Oh crap, I know. I was totally on board with this, but I'm starting to get cold feet. I mean, we're gonna be time traveling in 1999, right? Are we gonna be okay? What if we just up and die? I know Prez has always been fine with stuff like this. But Tabra, Smash, and even Vice President are acting like we're just running to the store or something. Me. Kinomi. Who said that? Oh, it's you, Alice. I'm not scared, okay? I've just got, pre-battle jitters. Really, that's all. I mean, us supporting characters gotta make sure we don't mess things up for the main cast, right? I see. I've never considered you a supporting character myself. I'd say you're an extra at best. Ah! But never mind that. I wanted to talk to you before we go. I've been thinking about how this happened, and I can't come up with a single answer. As far as I can tell, it should be impossible to activate Shiny Star. It was a complete failure. There is a huge hole in the plot needed to work as a fairy tale. What kind of hole? It's right in the name, only one, and number one. The ploy grants wishes that are the only one of their kind. It sounds good in theory. Everyone wants to believe their number one wish is like no other. But that's not the case. Every person's number one wish is the same as everyone else's. There's no such thing as a number one wish that's also the only one of its kind. I want to be successful. I want to be promoted. I want a lover. I want to bring someone back to life. The world is chock full of wishes like that. They're as commonplace as the stars in the sky. That's why Shiny Star should never actually shine, because there's no such thing as a special, one-of-a-kind wish. So I'm going to ask you again, Kinomi, what is it you wished for? I'm not saying. This motherfucker. I see Alice and Kinomi are talking alone, probably about the wish. You mean the one Kinomi made? Right, I'm surprised he's not even telling Alice though. I'm not sure that I've ever seen him dig his heels in like that. He's probably just sulking. Real heartfelt wishes aren't the kind of thing you usually go around telling others about. He's embarrassed and trying to save face. So what happened to Karen, Shiki, and Fujino? Oh, what happened to Karen? Left. Karen and Bazette ended up leaving. Shiki stayed, and so did Fujino. Fujino went off to train. Yeah. And Shiro left. Shiro ended up leaving. So but they're still around. But never mind him. Are you done yet? I get that we don't need to hurry if we're going back in time, but there's no sense taking longer than necessary either. Okay, oh good, thank God. Yeah. I know, I just finished setting the coordinates, so all I have to do now is let go. Okay everyone, get over here. Once you close your eyes and count to 3, we'll be back in 1999. Remember, you can't kill a god. Yep. It won't make any difference, but if you're nervous, you can hold hands. Now, is everyone ready? Go for it! Okay, beginning regression, canal singularity. Get ready to party at the Kumano Hot Springs like it's 1999 again. Of course, great. Now I want Alco and Alice. Ah. Ooh, the 90 node. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's take you. Someone getting spirited away isn't an everyday occurrence, and if you do get caught up in something like that, you just have to accept that your luck was either real, good, or bad. I'm a bluebird of happiness, so I'm going to be taking Alice. One day, probably. Oh, don't worry about Alco. Based on her daily habits, I'd wager she wanders off anyway. No trickery involved. How's that a strategy hint? I'm gonna put her here. Put you for bonding. Let's go. Move you around. Let's see. You didn't summon for either of them? I thought you did. No, you didn't, right? You were trying for Shiki though. Nope, I was scared. To be honest, do I even care for summer? Oh my god, my English. Do I even care for summer at this point? Do you? Do you not care for Eresh? Are you not a summer Eresh fan? Yeah, because they're still CL. Like, CL comes... Wait, CL's after, right? CL's after... Or is she before anniversary? I forget. Yeah, CL's the one that, like, I'll be tempted to as well. I think she's after Eresh. Yeah, I think CL's after Eresh. Well, yeah, she might be after Eresh. I feel like in JP she came out before Eresh though. Because then it's Summer BB right after. Well, Summer BB2 technically. Or Golden BB, whatever they call her now. BB Dubai. Alright, let's continue the story. Surely this is leading towards the end, right? Yeah. Build a machine with many witches. Gather many stars. One turn of the handle and a wishing star candy will pop out. If it is the same as your dearest wish, the one you hold deep in your heart, if such a miracle were to take place, then that wish must surely be the #1 wish in the world. The witch named her toy with that concept in mind. Boy Kickshaw, Wishing Star Box, only one, number one shiny star. A tool for granting only one, your number one wish. It wasn't until later that the witch admitted it was a failure. There is no such thing as the only one, the number one wish in the world. There are countless earnest, precious wishes in this world. There's simply no way that any one person's wish could be number one. Looking at the picture, it's the maid servant CL, Eresh, then Summer. Oh my, yeah. It's the maid servant CL, Eresh, and Summer. Yup. Not to mention, it's impossible to rank wishes in the first place. So really, the whole concept fell apart the moment the stars shining in the sky were linked to wishes. Hello, human. I'm the fairy tale that took up residence on this mountain. I never had a name before. But now you can call me only one, number one shiny star. Please tell me your wish so I may grant it. Tell me your number one wish, a wish that's the only one of its kind in the whole world, and one you can never take back. It can be a wish you just thought of now, or one you've been keeping secret for a long time. Okay, well, wishes are usually something you think of on the spot. I could be rich or popular or a ladies' man, but no, those don't seem right. Sure, I like those things, but they're not important. One time, I did a fasting bit for a variety show that became a huge hit. My pay went up, and I got to move into a real nice apartment. But then I had to do the same bit over and over, and I was like, if this is the success train, I want to get off, you know? So I wouldn't know what to do with my money if I was rich. Being popular would make other people hate me. And even if I was a ladies' man, I wouldn't be able to really make them happy. Wait, what's that man? So that star is evil technically? Yeah. So I don't think of any of those wishes as my number one. I see. Please tell me your wish so I may grant it. Man, you don't back down, do you? I like that. Alright. If you want my number one wish, I think it'd be, just once, I'd like blank and blank to have the blank 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 in the blank. And who am I kidding? There's probably a ton of other people with that wish, so that's not gonna work either. Congratulations, my search has not found any identical results. But it seems that wish is the only one of its kind in the world. Huh? Your wish will be granted? I promise I will make it the number one wish. It's easy to make only one thing the number one thing. I've learned a lot from humans over the past 500 years. My name is only one, number one shiny star. I will become a shining star and grant your wish. This man is Kimoni. That's who that is. He was disguised as that ugly guy or whatever. This is cool. What the fuck? Crater. Whale. Look at that. I like that you could do this. This is super cool. How pretty! Right. Actually, this is worthy of a screenshot. Look at that. Damn. Save the photos. Oh, you can go back and forth? Look at that. 2001. 1999. 2001. 1999. Alright. Enough. Enough playing. Let's fight. Let's take... we'll take the alcohol. Yeah, actually I'll keep Domon. Actually, instead of Domon... so I got alter egos. Ooh, I could do more, but no, I want to use him instead. That's pretty, to be honest, yeah. Are these really the Kumano hot springs? Those shooting stars are beautiful, but I can't believe it. How could I have interpreted the wish so violently? There's enough magical energy in the air to rival the age of gods. Humans cannot operate in this environment. My master should be okay thanks to his mystic code life preservation systems, but Tsukiji and Hosuke will be. But okay? That yes, they're all right. There may not be any oxygen, water, or sunlight here, but there doesn't need to be. We're in a fairy tale world now. As long as you don't push yourselves too hard, regular humans can still operate here. Yeah, I'm surprised the priest isn't in the story when his daughter is. Yeah, honestly, I thought he would come out too. And the other one that's missing that I haven't seen is Ku. Like Kuchelane's part of the story, I guess, but he's like hasn't been anywhere in the story. Keep your actions to a bare minimum. If you get injured, it'll be over for you. You don't gotta tell me twice not to be a hero. We're here just to go to offer advice, or maybe be cheerleaders. Stopping Shiny Star is your job. Kinomi and I'll just stay here and... Kinomi? Oh wait. No way, this is a disaster. Never mind losing the inn, this could destroy all of Japan. For that matter, how the hell did that wish lead to this? Kinomi, I'm pretty sure everyone at the inn managed to evacuate. When Shiny Star activated, Kumano and Yoshisuke must have been sensed the danger. Or rather panicked when he couldn't find a way to stop it and hurried everyone down the mountain. Oh yeah, and Kid Gil, but they were shadows or ghosts when they introduced Karen. Oh, that's right, yeah, that's true, they did come out as that one node. Really? Am I actually that competent? Of course you are. There's no one better than you at getting as far away from danger as possible. How many times have you tried to minimize the damage for something you wouldn't get in too much trouble? Yeah, you're right. Way to go, 1999 me. So now what? And also, what are those lights swirling around up there? Those are earthbound stars. As opposed to stars in outer space, they are light, Shiny Star itself called here. When those stars are no longer visible, that's when Shiny Star will become complete. It'll be a ploy kickshot even more powerful than the Mindster's 3 miracles, like the Flat Snark or the Dame's Throw. Are you serious? You're not just trying to scare us. Yaks, we definitely have to stop it before it's too late. True, but we still have some time. How did the sight compare to the one you saw, Aoko? Magical energy when in Aoko 1's footage was stronger than this. She couldn't even get within 50 meters of it. Then we know it's been detuned, enough that we can at least get closer to it now. Tsukiji, Kinomi, you too, stay here. The wind looks like it's blowing from the center of the crater. Is everyone ready to fight? Then let's go. Don't hold anything back. The moment it's in range, destroy it with everything you've got. Is that Shiny Star? She was stopped observing. What in the world is happening around that star? Aozaki? It's nothing. Come on, let's go get it. Summon your servants, Tabris. We've had lots of time to prepare, and we've got plenty of firepower on our side. Failure is not an option. Don't worry about the nearby lights. They are harmless. Just focus on attacking the star. Don't get discouraged, even if weird things start happening. Alright, we'll be careful. Random battle. Oh, it's a black and white again. Ah. Kind of cool how they're like. Let's do this. Whoa, what's up, Arai Project? Yeeties. Oh, it does no attack, man. It's one of these. I've been pretty good, just, you know. Oh shit, reading the story. Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. Hopefully I can make it to the end so that I can finally get to the real grind. Probably gonna get to Gitani 120 by Sunday. Hell yeah! On JP. Giri! Yeah, so this star takes no damage. Okay. What's going on? Why can't we actually do anything when we get near the star? Feared the worst when I saw that Shiba had stopped observing this vicinity, and it looks like I was right. What about NA? Yeah, right? Still a work in progress. Space-time no longer has any meaning near Shiny Star. There's no past, no future, no success, no failure. Everything is simply listed as recorded, no change, as if the recorded universe itself is rejecting it. I have no girls on NA, sadly. Oh, you're in cowboys boots. At least we're all okay, right? But this kind of phenomenon manipulation would require spirit origin on par with a real star. Where could Shiny Star possibly be getting that much magical energy? It's absorbing magical energy from the other stars in the sky. Those are wishes. Shiny Star is drawing in wishes from people all around the world. Isn't that right, Alice? To make the one-of-a-kind wish into the number one, the Shiny Star resorted to the worst possible means. Usually it would be impossible to make one small wish the number one wish on this planet. But if all the other wishes were to go away, if the one small wish was the only wish left in the world, it would become number one by default. That's what all those shooting stars are. The Shiny Stars gathering up every other wish from all humankind, rejecting them as not number one and turning them into stardust. No. Denied. Oh shit, I want to say the intern. Denied. Let me stay here just one more day. Denied. Oh shit. That was someone's boyfriend. Go home. We have to stop it as soon as possible. So then, the world isn't... I know, I'm just playing. So then the world isn't going to end because that magical energy wind destroys everything. It's going to end because humankind will die off once their wishes are all gone. I'm dying how evil. It is evil. Like, it was evil because it's like, I want to save the poor, and it's like, denied. Like, fuck the poor. That's what that star said. Looks that way, of course. I had the same thought, that I had to do whatever it took to stop it. But it didn't make any difference. Even though it's been detuned, we still can't get through to it, whether it's with fists or words. I want a husband. Denied. Damn it, I made the wrong call. Just stopping it from granting wishes wasn't enough. It's not like you to be so faint-hearted, Alco. You sound as if you really did come from a future where one person's wish ruined the whole world. Yes, a ploy kickchart deploying its rules is invincible, but that's only because it's following its own rules. Shiny Star activated on a wish that was the only one of its kind in the world. That's the core powering this messed up fairy tale world. But if that core goes away, the wishing star box will go back to being another third-rate ploy. So, you need to find a way to deny the condition enabling it to operate. It doesn't matter what that way is. So, like, you want Kinomi to take back his wish? You mean that's all we had to do? The only problem is neither you nor I can move from here, or we won't be able to keep that magical energy wind contained. Tobimaru and Kinomi would be vaporized instantly. Then it's a good thing we have them here. Shizuki, Tabris, go talk to Kinomi. I'll cover you as best I can. Mash, can you stay here and keep the magical energy wind at bay? Of course, leave it to me. Wait, you can use your ploy kickshaws here? Yes, as long as they're more valuable than the shiny star, it looks like I have just one ace that fits that bill. I'm going to send out the Wandersnatch. The mist won't last long in this storm, but it'll have my folklore defense. That should slow down the shiny star's growth, but it won't last long. So you'll need to settle this before I completely turn to mist. You and Mash are gonna hold the line here. Got it? Then I'll go get Kinomi to take back his wish, even if I have to force it out of him. I can't believe you, Ako. Don't you see, if you try that, it really will be game over. So Alice isn't evil because you know her third form is like pre-best. But who knows, maybe she goes evil again. But why is that? Even if you could force someone to rescind a heartfelt wish, it would just be empty words. Nothing's going to change with Shiny Star unless and until Kinomi rescinds his wish and means it. Now, do you understand? You stay here and remain on offense. Shiny Star's sure to take notice once Tabris gets close to Kinomi. So you're going to need to stay here and fight it one-on-one to make sure it doesn't. You'll be risking your life to act as a decoy, but you've already died lots of times here, so what's one more? Ah! Magical energy wind is getting even stronger. Master! You heard them, Sojiro. Let's go talk to him. That was close. Thanks. Of course, I'm going to make sure you're safe. Anyway, I actually wanted to talk to you about something. I think I got over half of what Aozaki and Konji were talking about. I understand that we need to stop the shiny star or the whole earth will be in trouble. I also get that it might not be so easy because Kinomi is being surprisingly stubborn and refusing to help. So I was thinking, if this new plan just doesn't work, let's go back to the old one. You mean, you plan to destroy the shiny star in 2001? But you... Yeah, that one. You said you're originally from 2019, right? But once your work is all done, I'd like you to promise me you'll visit the Konji estate at least once a year in my absence. Sojiro. Don't tell anyone else, okay? Anyway, let's just focus on convincing Kinomi to help us. Please, Kinomi, tell us what you wished for. No way. What are you sulking about, especially at your age? Don't you get the whole world's going to end unless you tell us? I'm not saying. Kinomi, I promise we won't laugh, no matter what kind of wish it is. I'm still not sane. Besides, look around. There's no way I could be responsible for this kind of disaster. Sure, I get the feeling I talked to Wan in a dream once, but how could that possibly lead to this? Where's Shiki? She legit void Shiki in this story like she can kill this motherfucker. Oh my god. She's back with her family. The family we don't ever see, but yeah. I'm just a regular, handsome innkeeper who used to be a comedian and just wants to enjoy everyday life. Alice and the press will figure something out. We can't just hide out here and cheer them on. I didn't want to have to do this, but... my wish is to go to Antarctica one day. I see. That's a great goal. I appreciate you telling us that, even though it made you blush. But that wish has nothing to do with mine. I didn't wish for anything nearly so admirable. I'm just plain old Kinomi Holsuke. Just carry me to a graveyard and bury me with the rest of the planet. Alright, you leave me no choice. I'll just have to break an arm or two until you fess up. No, Aozaki already thought of that, and apparently it won't work. It's okay. I thought this might happen, seeing now how it's Kinomi and all. We'll just have to do this a different way. Tabris, you can still reach Aozaki, right? Ask her to go back to 2001 and destroy the Wishing Star box there. Then this'll all be over. Hehe. Soju? I can't take this anymore. You got me so distracted I let that explosion hit me. Nobody's gonna make fun of your wish, you idiot. We're not gonna reject it or even scold you for it. If this wish is that important to you, we just want to know what it is because we are friends. Now hurry up and tell us already. What did you wish for? I just wanted her to become number one. That's all there was to it. Ooh, number one? What the fuck? I spent 2 years running my own variety show on my hometown's local network, and another 2 working in Tokyo after I made enough of a name for myself. He Loves Aoko, or, as a comedian, I was a reliable source of ratings. Of course, it helped that it was my dream job, but I was also lucky that a big agency took me under its wing, and that my show on the local network managed to become weirdly popular. My older colleagues didn't care for me, but so what? I'm used to being looked down on and underestimated. Besides, it's true that I'm a soft touch. I'm too easy on myself. I hate adversity, and I cry at the drop of a hat. I figured I could never match up to anyone who put in real effort, or rather, it would be unthinkable if I did. All I ever wanted was to enjoy myself. Man, I love how easygoing your segments are, Yoshisuke. Nobody's on edge, and even the guests who hit each other are behaving. I became an ad because I always wanted to be in showbiz, but I started having second thoughts when I found out how it dashes hopes and dreams. But your improvised live segments where we're always flying by the seat of our pants and exactly the kind of thing I always dreamed of doing. The only part about working with you that kind of sucks is how bad the catered lunches are. My appeal was that I never took anything seriously. I could make anything at least kind of fun, so I can't blame other people for looking at me and thinking I was an irresponsible slacker. From their perspective, I was way more popular than I deserved, made a good living off of it, and I still only ever ate convenience store food. I was all ready to accept that I just let the wind take my life wherever it wanted until people got bored of me. The first time I saw her was pure coincidence. She just happened to be performing on a tiny stage in the department store where I was doing my shopping. Her name was Mitsushima Masako, which didn't exactly roll off the tongue. Her looks, singing, and dancing were all okay at best. And yet there was just something about her that drew me in. Maybe it's because I was feeling stuck myself. Watching her made me want to do something to help, not as Kumano and Yoshike, but as Kinomi Hosuke. As I watched her perform, I realized something else about her. She had no stamina at all. She physically didn't have what it took to be an idol. I'm not Swan myself, but I've been in showbiz long enough to know that the brighter a world shines, the harder, lonelier, and emptier it is behind the scenes. Still, I cheered her on and supported her as best I could. But without any connections to the idol industry, she never caught the eye of anyone who could help her break out. One day, our paths happened to cross when we were both booked to perform at an amusement park show. She said she'd never been to an amusement park before, so I suggested we ride the Ferris wheel during our break. Don't worry, nobody's going to care if you're seen with me. I'm the industry's laughingstock. Whatever happens, they'll just write me off as a joke and that'll be that. When you get right down to it, I'm just a dumb comedian. As long as people laugh at me, my job is done. I've never laughed at your banter, Yoshike. Damn, really? Man, having a cute girl tell you you're not funny right to your face really hurts. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I mean that your banter always cheers me up. You're not trying to make people laugh. Most comedians seem like they just want to make people laugh and that's all, but not you. It's more like you'd rather the world be one where you can laugh. That's why you worked so hard to get to where you are now. It's not that you're fine with being laughed at. You just care more about being able to laugh yourself. What makes you think that? I guess because I'm the same way. I'm not actually that confident in myself. If I'm being honest, I think this whole idol business is messed up. But I love having other people hear my voice. That's what helps me keep going with my singing and dancing, even though I'm not that good at either of them. Whether you're an idol or a comedian, it's hard being in showbiz, isn't it? It might look like fun, but pretending to have fun when you're not, well, that's just really sad, don't you think? That was the first and last time we spoke. It was also when I stopped personally supporting her. I didn't feel like I was worthy to support someone like her, and I also didn't want to let anything slip if we ever met on a set again. I was sure she would succeed eventually, I really was, but it never happened. Why's the script been rewritten? Did something happen today? You haven't heard yet, Yoshike? There was a girl who collapsed on stage and died in the hospital. What was her name again? Mitsushima something? They say she'd always been kind of sickly. Damn. That was when I learned that Masako had weak kidneys and had to do dialysis several times a week since she was little. They said she died from exhaustion, but it wasn't long before I heard all kinds of nasty stories about her I would have just as soon remained ignorant of. But never mind them, they're not worth telling. Once she was gone, all Masako left behind was 3 singles and a few recordings of her concerts taken with cheap cameras. I got so fed up with the whole thing that I left showbiz and went off the grid for a while, until I ended up at the Kumano Inn and hit it off with the previous owner. I enjoy working at the inn more than I thought. Sometimes would even get guests I never expected to see. Oh, so that's who that is. As an employee, I was allowed to customize the inn however I liked. I could put up all the posters I wanted, and no one ever complained. Then one day, Wanwan spoke to me, said to tell him my wish so he could grant it. I didn't know if I was dreaming or awake, and I didn't care. Once he said that, all the feelings I'd kept bottled up came pouring out. So I told Wanwan exactly what I've been wishing for. I didn't ask for anything impossible like bringing her back to life. I just wanted her to be the top idol in the world at least once. Hell, lots of times, if I'm being honest. And I still want that, even now. I sometimes dream of her taking first place on the charts and in competitions. But that's a super common dream. There was no way it could be the only one of its kind. Like Wanwan said, it had to be. So I figured Wanwan would just sigh in disappointment and go away. But instead... Yeah, it is sad. She died for real. Congratulations. It seems that that wish is the only one of its kind in the world. What? Actually, making that wish be the only kind of its world in the world kind of makes it sad too, on top of that. Are you kidding me? The only one of its kind in the whole damn world? I'm the only one? Not a single other person still remembers her songs? She was so lonely, but she still worked so hard, and she made some beautiful music. But you're telling me not a single damn person in the world wanted to see her succeed? You're wrong. That can't be true. No way in hell. Tell me it ain't true. So there you go. That's what I wished for. Now, do you get it? Even if the world really is in danger, there's nothing I can do. I can't lie and say I was just kidding and ask to take that wish back now. Even now, I still want to see her be number one. Damn, now I see. You weren't climbing up out of self-preservation. You did it because you were angry. Hinomi, your wish, your anger, I couldn't reject it even if I wanted to. Yeah, this is about how you feel. Nobody can deny how people feel about these kinds of things. Liberating, denied, denied, deliberating, denied. This wish is still the only one of its kind. This is still the number one wish. Just once, I'd like Mitsushima Masago to have the most popular song in the world. This wish was not made out of self-interest. This wish was not made for calculated purposes. This wish was not made to satisfy a desire. This wish is absurd. This wish is interesting. This wish is beautiful. By granting it, I am being fair and impartial. Davris, never mind what I said before. We're going to destroy that thing here and now. I want to, but how are we going to bring that star down to Earth? Yeah, I hate to admit it, but Shiny Star's logic is flawless. Not even Kinomi can deny what he wished for. At this point, our only hope is to... well, of course. You can't take back a wish made from the heart. Shiny Star is dead right about that. Knowing you were the only person in the world to wish for that idol's success, no wonder you were too upset to tell us. You did nothing wrong, Kinomi. I'm sorry I said you were sulky. What's this about, Your Highness? Just shut up for a moment. I'm about to close this case nice and neatly. It said this wish is still the only one of its kind. That's it, still the number one wish. What a con job. That's not your wish anymore, Kinomi. It's its own. Hey, Shiny Star. Seems to me like you're just trying to raise your own rep and making this wish out to be more valuable than it really is. Fine then, I'll play along with your game. If you care about the rules that much, then listen up. You say Kinomi's wish was the only one, that nobody else wanted to see her succeed? Well, you're dead wrong. There's no way that wish is one of a kind, because I wished for it too, bastard. Huh? I knew he was going to say that. Yeah, like if you can make wish, you just make the same wish. And it won't be number one anymore. Good job, Tobimaru. He's like, this is easy. I'll just wish the same thing. You say Kinomi's wish was the only one, and nobody else wanted to see her succeed? Well, you're dead wrong. There's no way that wish is one of a kind, because I wished for it too, bastard. Testimony. Verifying. Considering. Priority. Priority. Top priority. No way. You know about Masago too, Your Highness? Of course I do. How do you think I tracked you all down the way out here? It's because I had something for you. Here, this is yours. This is just one part of the whole pack. Wait, is that my handwriting? What are you doing with those, Your Highness? You're creeping me out. What? Is your memory even worse than Robin's? Those are fan letters you wrote, you idiot. Back when you were cheering her on, you used to write her long handwritten letters every time she got a gig. You tell her what she did well, what she did great, what she could stand to improve. Honestly, I'm amazed you could write the same damn thing so many times I got a headache just reading through them. You read my personal mail? What are you, paparazzo? I had to as part of my job, dumbass. I needed something to track you down, and these were my only lead. The only reason I have them is because my client lent them to me. They said your letters were their late daughter's most prized possession. Oh. Masako knew she didn't have a long life ahead of her, but she still wanted to spend it doing what she wanted. I'm Sure, being an aspiring idol was hard for her in lots of ways, but for the last 2 years of her life, she was genuinely happy. Her parents told me these fan letters you wrote inspired her to keep going. Like I said, they were her most prized possession. Then he didn't start crying. Her parents started looking for a detective so they could return the letters to the guy who sent them. Eventually, they found out I used to know him back in high school, and that's how I got the case. Unfortunately, there were almost no leads to go on. All they had were the letters and videos of some of their daughter's gigs. I figured knowing what kind of singer she was could help, so I watched them over and over, and well, her songs weren't exactly my taste, but everything else about them was really good. I don't know the first thing about singing, but seeing her effort, her emotion, and the joy she got from performing, even I could tell how brightly she shone on stage. I didn't think it was possible to become genuinely fond of someone you didn't know before. But Mitsushima Masako was the real deal. She made me a fan, and I earned the cold shoulder from my wife. Now, go on. Stand up and take these. There's something sad about this at least, right? There's nothing sad about this at least, right? See, so you're just riding the bandwagon, huh? I was her fan before you'd even heard her name. Wow, you really did close this case nice and neatly. Haha? You really did. There's no way Shiny Star could have seen this coming. Not recognized. Error. Impossible. That testimony cannot be real. My aggregation was perfect. Yeah, maybe back in 1997 when you started gathering wishes. But I hadn't gotten the request to find Kinomi back then. That didn't happen until 4 years later, in 2001. So I didn't learn about Mitsushima Masako until after you'd collected your data. No fair? I know how you must feel. You can blame Aozaki for cheating if you want, but first, it's time to get to work, Shiny Star. You say you're fair and impartial? Prove it. Try gathering your data again. Deliberating testimony unknown. Evidence unknown. Verifying, no results found. No results found. Results found? Evidence validated. Verification approved. Deliberation impossible. Results found, results found, results found. What the? Shiny Star's world is shutting down. Hurry everyone, now's our chance to destroy it. Yeah. We'll be right there. Come on, senpai. Sojiro. You'll have to let me read those letters later. Just go save the world already. I need it to live, you know. Haha. Youth, look at them running off so happy, like they've already won. Still, it's only right us all old hands show them how it's done, seeing as we were the star players for this case. Yes, this wish might have been number one, but it definitely wasn't the only one of its kind. This is what showing your true colors looks like. Do it, Aozaki. Breaking toys is still what you're best at, right? Haha. It was wholesome and cute. It is. You know it. I have some thoughts about your choice of words, but I'll gladly take it from here. This is it, Shiny Star. In the end, you were just a broken toy, a wishing well that never got what it really means to be number one. Collecting lots of wishes and stars isn't necessarily a bad thing by itself. But sacrificing other wishes is just a selfish desire, not a wish. Unfortunately for you, I think I've died more than enough times. This time, it's your turn. Yes. Well, I got my own girl. Let's take... Oh yeah, you know what? Yes! Thank you, NP5. Manual setup. Oh. Oh, I guess I'll have 2 alcos. Can I move it? Well. No. I kind of want... Not him. This guy. I'll put him here. You know, just in case, you know? Where's the final battle? Let's go. Grand battle again. Right. What an introduction. Oh, cool.
伝統上ですので
She removed her MP seal. Damn, she straight up went to...
アクセルやばチャンネル間違えたこれくらい余裕これくらい余裕今度こそ決めるこれくらい余裕ディドディドシックススイングディドディド色あせた夢に開始月の見つけたいいわごっこ遊びをしましょう太古の神秘笑う月面こぼれ落ちて舞台は燃えるスマイルクラッドスナーク最初の底から今和の端へフレーン層をひとまたぎお待たせちょっとだけ地球を救いに帰ってきたわ逃げられると私が入試加速開始せーのヘアフックスマッシュブローバック告げる青を示す
What happened to the little bluebird? He's been around.
ノットセインファイタイムレスワー遅いない遅い今はこの辺かなどもに甘くないっすかチョコだけに今回だけよ
Fucking bird, though.
お願いね
Funny.
この君のもしかしなくても天使グレート3はいいアリサも移せアリサをって自分まだいますよスターク同じラスダーク
そういうところよ銀河の波の一手ね
Son of a bitch. Yeah, give my MP back. Oh, yeah. I end up got it back.
今はこの辺かなやっていいのサポートお願いね刺激も反省も足りないようねなら私が全部満たしてあげるトラウマから始めよっかツアープランホライゾン自称の彼方に行ってこーいディストーション金星まで行ってこいスビアブレイクスライダー
And that was an almost kill. What the fuck?
プロイの数がこの状態で不覚を取る。
はい。
楽しんでおりますぞ愉快なり増やしておきまする。
試練の時だ。命をかけろ。先人に学ぶとしよう。
それは
よろしい
それは
お願いね。
いかがです。
せーの、へあ。
Oh my god. Alright. Okay.
見て
この時代だとこのくらいよね。
お楽しみあれ。
悔い改めよ。打ち砕かれよ。悪しき者、欺く者を私が招く。パミールイ、ナース・ゴースパチ。
秋光殿、お目覚めよ。来たれ暗黒の帳。太陽はここに生まれ変わる。狂乱怒涛、悪霊産婦。
シックスプレーン形成。サテライトシリンダーオフ。ルックバック。コール5。アースライトスタート。
さようですか。はは、なるほど。心地よし。くっくっくっくっくっく。おっと、これははしたない。
いい子？ダメダメ。ラ
それはそれは。秋光殿、お目覚めよ。来たれ暗黒の帳。太陽はここに生まれ変わる。狂乱怒涛、悪霊産婦。
そういうところよ。
はは、なるほど。
1光年以内に異常がついてこれる。もう一つ増やしておくか。この時代だと
節操に
こ
もろはだ
のくらいよ。
Surely this kills.
秋光殿、お目覚めよ。来たれ暗黒の帳。太陽はここに生まれ変わる。狂乱怒涛、悪霊産婦。
驚くのよ。タイムスケールグリッといじる。さあ行くぞ。乱舞フルオーキ。
Perfect.
シックスプレーン形成。サテライトシリンダーオフ。ルックバック。コール5。アースライトスタート。
お喜びくだされマイマスタ
Yup, yup, yup. Hell yeah. The wishes were shattered. Perhaps they would have come true if they'd been left alone. Some wishes dreamed hazily that good things might happen in the future. Some wishes dreamed of the past, where it was now too late to do anything. But right now, in the present, everything is wrapping up perfectly. Maybe we could have seen real magic remaking the world in exchange for all the wishes in it. But ending like this doesn't quite seem right. Wishes aren't the only thing you can't take back. My number one wish wasn't anything special, and stars aren't supposed to burst. They're supposed to orbit. The bright, starry sky peered down, as other stars scattered across it. Despite the sad sight, the man looked up at it with a proud expression on his face. That's it. That's how stars ought to be. It's like you can see them when you're awake, and they provide light when you're asleep. Nothing else twinkles like them. They're fun to look at, but there's also something lonesome about them. As the man murmured those words like poetry, the collapse of 1999 was undone. What the? Sweet! Hello? There it goes. In the end, a star becomes a wish. We're back. Yeah, it's back. Wait, did I lose connection? Oh shit. Okay. No, it was the game, not Twitch, right? Yeah. Are you all ready to go? Everyone have everything? Good? Because in about 30 minutes, this singularity will disappear, and it'll be back to the regular Kumano hot springs. When that happens, Tabers, Mash, Servant Sojiro, and I will all return to our respective time periods. Anyone who was already here will stay here, although their memories of the singularity will be a little fuzzy. Yes, we know. We finished cleaning our room, so we're ready to leave at any time. Thanks for giving us such a great room, Kumanoan. I'm glad to hear that. If you enjoyed your stay here, I hope you'll come visit us again. You said you were both from 2019, yes? Then I'll do my best to keep the inn in business until then. Why are you wearing your disguise again? You look shadier than ever dressed like that. Well, you know, since this is goodbye and all, I thought I'd make extra sure the newcomers remember me. Bye, Tabris and Mash. I'll have twice as many hot springs here when you visit in 18 years. Well. Hang on. Am I going to disappear when the singularity does? No. I'm still not sure why, but you're registered as a heroic spirit in the throne now. So you'll be summoned independently from the original Sojiro, although that might only apply to Chaldea. Right, your servant self and your original self from this time are different people. Come to think of it, where did the original Sojiro go? That's what I'm saying. Well, if it would have been confusing having two of the same person in one place, right? So my guess is Alka 1 spotted him walking around the inn and hurled him back to Tokyo. Oh, so that's why you went off with the scary look on your face on the first afternoon? Hey, I just wanted to stop by since it looks like this is it. Thanks for helping me out on that misty day. It ain't often you get to experience something like that. It sucks that I won't remember you guys, but at least you'll remember me, right? I can live with that. And hey, if someone you know ever buys some haunted property and gets cursed, give me a call. If you tell me you know my secret, I'll probably panic and give you a discount. Hello, allow me to once again apologize for the trouble I caused to you. Now that the ox god is gone, I no longer have any reason to stay on this mountain. But fortunately, Lord Tsukitani has agreed to help me search for my master. It is good to have a goal. It sounds like your trip still has a long way to go. So please take care and let me know if you ever need my help. You know, you really had us fooled, Honji. You knew what was happening here the whole time. This isn't a mystery novel where the least suspicious person is the culprit. Why didn't you speak up sooner? I didn't know about the connection between Wen Wen and Shiny Star. Or rather, I didn't think there was one. I was planning to find Shiny Star on my own once we dealt with Wen Wen and solved Aoko's serial murder mystery. So then, you didn't invite Aozaki to your room on the first night so you could cover up evidence instead? I just wanted to talk with her for the first time in a while. I've seen you and Shizuki a few times since we graduated, but I hadn't heard from Aoko. Oh, that explains it. I thought that was weird. The Alice I knew would never go in an outdoor bath with a girl she had only just met. Now I see you pushed yourself to keep us company because it had been so long since we'd seen each other. It wasn't that big a deal. Our time together was just so short. We've never had a chance to go on a trip together. Thank you all again for all your help. Are you leaving already? The air surrounding this inn is so much lighter now. I'm sure it won't be long before it becomes popular again. What am I going to do now? Well, there aren't any evil spirits that need exorcising anymore, but Kumano begged me to stay here anyway. He said there would be debt collectors coming that are scarier than any evil spirit, so he was hoping I could twist them just a little to scare them away. What a rascal that innkeeper is. So it looks like I'll be staying here for a while longer. I guess that makes me this inn's new guardian. Looks like this is goodbye for me too. I've got to make my regular check-in with the wife in the old building. Anything you want me to pass on to her, Aozaki? I know she'd love to hear from you. Tell her I'm doing well and I hope you are too. Also, I'm officially calling our CD versus cassette debate a draw. You serious? Well, I guess that does sound like something you'd say, and at least it'll be easy to remember. Goodbye, Tabris, Mash. I wish I could have heard more about the future, but you gave me a good sense of it anyway. It sounds like things might be a little bleak, but at least I've learned there will be good people like you to rise to the challenge. Perfect timing. I was hoping I might catch you before you left. I have no idea what happened or what changed after that incident. But I can tell from the looks on your faces that you accomplished something big. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you. I'm sure it must have been quite a spectacle. Looks like our taxi is here. Hey, not that way. Oh dear. I'm sorry for leaving so suddenly, but I'm afraid we must be on our way now. Still, I do hope you'll invite me the next time something like this happens. Excuse me, are you the Kumano Inn's detective? A man? The fuck is this? What the? It's a pleasure to finally meet you. My wife's told me all about you. It sounds like you helped her out a lot. Why does this guy look like... Of course they would, right? Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but she's always been something of a sucker for ghost stories, so... Isn't that? Yeah, isn't that? Is it? The husband. Oh, right. I still haven't introduced myself, have I? I'm Ryogi Mikiya. Please forgive me for not paying my respects sooner. Our daughter hasn't been feeling well lately, so I've been busy taking care of her. Go on, Vanna. Can you say hello to your mother's friends? I'm sorry, she's still dealing with a fever. Anyway, I'm sorry to chat and run, but we'd better be on our way now. Thank you again for everything. I'm dead. It is. Bye-bye. Fucking Fujimaru grown up. Fucking married Ryogi. Shiki. You know, it might be kind of late to be asking this, but what's Chaldea like anyway, Tabris? I see. Sometimes busy, sometimes chaotic, sometimes relaxing, sometimes nostalgic, huh? That sounds like a great workplace. It might even be a good fit for Shizuki. You probably know this by now, but he really just moves at his own pace. That's not fair. I prefer to think of it as doing what I can, where I can. Tabris the same way. We might take risks, but we don't go overboard. Oh? Sorry to interrupt your admiration, Mash, but I hope you know you're going to need to rein him in so he doesn't get too out of hand. Anyway, since you two are so alike, I have a question for you. Why did you believe me and agree to help? Alka 1 was acting super suspicious the whole time, right? That's true. It was clear from the start that something wasn't right. But that doesn't mean I didn't trust her. Knowing you, it was pretty much a given that you were just trying to help. Tabra says something similar. Well, maybe not with his words, but with your spirit. The way you expressed yourself, right? Okay, we're here. Time to start erasing this singularity. When this is over, I'll be back where I belong, and you guys will go back to Chaldea. That includes you too, Sojiro. You're going to keep working for humanity as a servant. What about you, Miss Konji? I'm originally from this time, so I'm just going to see you all off. Alko might have come here from the far future, that is, your present. But from your perspective, I'm just a stranger from the distant past. Still, the bond we developed here may be enough that I end up dropping by Chaldea myself. It does sound like you can use all the help you can get, after all. So if that happens, I won't be too upset. Me neither. I would love to see you again if we can. That's really nice of you, Mash. So because you and Adabris are so nice, and you didn't give up on me even after I'd been murdered several times, I have a present for you. But first, answer me this. Were you two looking for the left Holy Grail or the right one? What the? The two? I think we might have lost both? What should we do, Master? I think those might be synthetic Holy Grails. That's right, these aren't your ordinary Holy Grails, but don't worry, you can still use them just like any other. I embedded the magical energy I used to send the singularity through time and hold it in place into a couple pieces of the shiny star. Then I had Alice make them look like proper Holy Grails. You helped both a magician and a witch set things right after they messed up, after all. This was the least we could do to thank you. Don't mind if we do then. Oh, looks like it's time. Goodbye, Tabris, Mash, Alice, and Sojiro. It wasn't always easy, but I still had a blast. I can already tell this is gonna be another fond memory for me. And hey, unlike Alice, I always show up right away when I'm called on, so I'll definitely see you again if the world's ever in serious trouble. She just had to go out with another foreboding statement, didn't she? But that's just the way Aozaki is. Anyway, this is it for us. We're counting on you to take it from here, Alice. I'm sure my present day self will show up soon after I'm gone, so will you fill him in on everything that happened? Okay, it'll be a little hassle, but I'll make sure I remember. In exchange, can I touch your right hand? Sure, here you go. I'm sorry. Alice? It's nothing. Thank you for staying well. It looks like the Singularity's time is up. These last 6 days have been a lot of fun. I guess human mages aren't all bad after all. Fucking bird. But now, this miracle's about to end. May everyone get back to their proper time. Farewell, summoner of Chaldea. I'm sure your nights won't all be peaceful, but I pray you'll be suitably rewarded when they are over. Goodbye. May we meet again beneath the stars. Count on it. How cute, bye. Yep. What the hell? I didn't expect to see Kirei like that right away.
ふと思ったんだが、これって清掃業務になるのかな。次の依頼だ。焦らず一休みしてから取り掛かろう。
Okay. Final node. The end. Oh man, I can't believe I messed up that bad. I mean, I don't want to believe it. Well, this situation is what I find hard to believe. What are you doing at Chaldea before me? Aren't you usually supposed to let a little more time pass before you just show up? I took plenty of time to get here. You were just slow to race shift, that's all. Hozaki already there. Although, it did help that Tappers and Mash signals were so easy to recognize. That helped me jump here in no time, and my head feels great too, thanks to all the information you shared. That's great to hear. Since you and Sojiro both just got here, would you like us to show you around? Maybe later. Hate to spoil the mood, but admitting that I came here on my own power, so I need to leave soon. Excuse me, Tabris. Could you come see me right away? I have a question or three for you about the Holy Grails you just submitted. Senpai, I think this means the engineering team is conducting an official investigation. You should explain what happened, or you'll be stuck taking a remedial study course for a whole day. Looks like we better go. We'll talk more later, okay? The shirtless ass, what the fuck? Okay, now that I got to see them doing well, I better be on my way. Give them my regards, okay? Don't be ridiculous. No matter how you put it, that's just leaving them high and dry. It's rude. You make it sound like I'm dining and dashing. Fine, I'm really pushing my luck, but I guess I can stay a little longer. There you go. You wouldn't be you if you always took the easy way out. Our recklessness is nothing compared to yours. I don't know whether to be flattered or offended by that. Alright then, tell me this. There's still one thing about what Tabris told me I don't get. Way back when this all started in 1999, I'd already lost. There was nothing I could do to turn things around. Apparently I told you that I sent the singularity into the future because I couldn't win. But how could I pull off a big move like that when I didn't even have time to run away? And yet somehow I did. Some impossible miracle happened that gave me the chance I needed. Be honest, Sojiro. What did you do? Well, I can't think of what it could be, but I probably did whatever I could. Anyone else would do the same, right? First, there was a tiny glimmer. A few moments later, there was an explosion. It sucked in everything nearby, then blew it all away. Trees were laid low, rivers dried up, entire buildings were wiped from the face of the planet. Wind raged on at 100 meters per second. This must be what it's like on Venus, she thought. It's no use. I can't get any closer. This endless emission is just insane. This disaster was supposed to be a simple job, damn it, not an actual apocalypse. That was when he heard a voice coming from inside the crater. The wind was blowing so strongly that a normal person would never pick up her voice, but he was sure he heard it. Shooting it doesn't work, hitting it doesn't work, kicking it doesn't work. It's like this thing doesn't obey the laws of the universe at all. High-density magical energy invades the Earth's surface as temperatures rise with no sign of slowing. The youth wasn't at the crater's bottom. He stood on the rippling bedrock surrounding it. The ground had been flipped over and sharpened like the tip of a sword. About 40 meters below, he could see the magician facing off against what looked like a shining star. He crouched down on the rock, keeping his breathing short, shallow, and sharp. The oxygen had become toxic, burning his lungs with every breath he took. Here, the mere act of breathing was suicidal. His legs still worked. By all rights, he should have run for his life. Even an ordinary human could still slide down the rock and make his way to someplace safe. But even as he continued to breathe in the toxic air, he thought back to the events from earlier that day. Before the explosion took place, the air around the Kumano Inn's old building had been contaminated and it was spreading. The inn's owner hurriedly evacuated the guests, and the incident was reported as a wildfire to the nearest town. When the townspeople had finished evacuating, the mountain transformed into an alternate world, a singularity. 6 hours later, the witch confessed to everything being due to her own negligence. She went back to the mountain to try and make things right, but failed. The young man in turn had returned to the mountain to collect the witch's body when... Yikes, that was too close. Good thing I managed to shift at the last moment. What the hell is that thing? It doesn't obey the laws of physics. You can never tell when it's about to do something. It attacks constantly and I have no idea what it even is. At the bottom of the crater, he saw a familiar face doing her utmost to fight back. He hesitated, but only for a moment. He had second thoughts, but only for an instant. How many seconds could he last in this wind without his limbs being disintegrated? Could he run up this rocky, nearly 100-meter long slope in time? Even if he could, would he be able to jump all the way to the star floating in the air? And even if he managed that, what would happen next? Such a feat would be beyond human, but he had already accomplished the inhuman 8 years ago. Back then, he had one of the witch's relics to help him, and his body was still in its prime. Now, that prime had of course long since passed. He was barely a shadow of his younger self. He was a boy no longer, but a man. He now lived a comfortable life in the city, in civilized society. Moreover, they've got to run out of steam eventually, right? Are you seriously telling me it's a star from outer space here to destroy the world? All right. He began to run. His toes broke. His upper limbs split open. His lungs literally burned. One of his eyes collapsed. His chin was sliced off. His head heart burst. But his hearing remained intact. He could still hear the girl desperately trying to fight back. It should have been impossible. But this creature happened to be able to perfectly replicate any actions he had performed in the past. Unknown coordinates. He leaps into the air. One of his legs is gone. He acknowledges the loss and raises his remaining hand. The wraith falls to the evil spirit slayer. His body is obliterated without a trace, but his wish, his will, remains as strong as it was 8 years ago. What, you ready, boy? Oh shit. Now, tour plan Horizon. I'm forfeiting this game and putting this whole singularity on timeout. Those few seconds he bought her changed the very world. When they had passed, all trace of the disaster had vanished. Nobody would ever know what had taken place. The tale of his exploits would never be passed on. Sojiro, that was Sojiro. On a planet about to end, a miracle saved a magician. Yep. Okay. Oh, let me take this dog out. Yes, baby, I'm coming. I'll be back. Come on, let's go. Come on. Y'all wanna go outside too? Let's go. Yeah. Wee. Okay. Let's see. It all makes sense now. Yep. Servant profile Konji Alice has been updated. Cool. Sojiro's. Ah, it's done? Is there more story? Oh ho ho. Unlike by completing third number 23. Cool.
ところでミッションってなんす？誰が仕事依頼してるっす？それが最大のオカルトっす！その輝き、お宝っすね。不労所得よりすごいっす！
熊野温泉お土産品コーナーにようこそ。気になるものがあれば持って行って。もちろん相応の対価は払ってもらうけど。
Let's see. I definitely need these.
ハリーさん、そろそろ違うこと言った方がいいっすよ。
分かってるわ。
Feathers.
はい、持って行って。
Lamps.
ハリーさん、そろそろ違うこと言った方がいいっすよ。
分かっているわ。毎度お買い上げありがとうとか。
Void dust. Yep, I'll get those later. Cool. Well, yep. That's a good way to end it. Damn, yeah, 4 in the morning. It's time for sleepy time. Thank you, watchers. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. That was a really fun story. Now I can grind, and I'll grind, yeah. And I'll finish Ordeal Call 2 next time. So, yep. Good night. Catch y'all next time. Bye-bye, cowboy. I'll see you later. Bye. Grinding tomorrow. Yes, grind. Bye.